Вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Our intro really does go hard. Like it really does. I was doing a full little bop. Like, yeah.
I was having a good dance with it. I like it.
Oh, here's Lance. Sorry. Here we go. There we go.
Hi, hey, Lance.
I totally agree with the sentiment, though. I think it slaps.
I had our intro stuck in my head, but specifically the hook with Jordan Peterson, where it's like up yours.
That's who that is.
Yeah, that's Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Oh, how did this look again? Oh, damn. I clearly just watched it like, woo, pretty pictures. I like the vibe. Never did I recognize any of those voices. I was like, all this time, I was like, who made this music? Who composed this? I wonder where they got these ad libs.
Well, the answer is Mike. Mike found the clips, but that one's Jordan Peterson, Canada's own legend. The lobster.
You had to have some Canadian content in there.
That's the that's the transphobic bigot on Twitter, right?
Yes, and on YouTube and everywhere he gives speaker sessions to. He's just a big old asshole. Oh, and fun fact, he only eats meat and salt, and so that's why we say that he's also probably got scurvy, which is probably not helping everything.
Yeah, I was late to finding out about him. And I found out about him after, when I was on Rising, when I was hosting Rising that week, and I had the video that went viral with the dead naming Elliot Page. I wish I had realized, I appreciate that everybody felt like I won that in general, but I didn't know who Jordan Peterson was. I didn't realize that it was a straw man all along in the first place. Like, if I had known who he was and what he had said on Twitter and what it really had been about, I didn't know. I only knew their reframing of it at the time as they're just banning anybody that dead names trans people, which I would be fine with. So I'm addressing it on that level. But if I had realized, oh no, this is just like an extreme bigot. Like, when I see what he actually says, it's absurd. Like, he's not veiled, nothing.
No.
Mm-hmm. Who are we talking about?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Yeah. Right. I feel like at first, within the first couple of years, there was a lot more plausible deniability because he tried to maintain this whole facade of being an intellectual and a professional. And now he's just like,
and an evolutionary biologist.
Yeah. He just has gone completely crazy. And he's just letting his freak flag fly. And I think that is good because I think that it's better when these people tell us who they are, even though we know, it's important for everyone else to know. But what I love is that the Jordan Peterson subreddit, I've kind of followed it somewhat throughout the years and noticed how they get frustrated with him because they initially started to follow him because of the self-help stuff. Mm-hmm. And they thought that he was like an intellectual because he was seemingly smart, articulate and whatnot. But, with time, he comes off as unhinged. In particular, I don't know if it was a turning point. I don't follow the subreddit close enough to say this, but after Jordan Peterson was interviewed by Kyle Kulinski. The way that he interacted with Kyle was just like overly aggressive for no reason, wouldn't engage in good faith. That turned off a lot of his fans. There was like a huge thread about it. So I'm glad that he has gone unhinged. It's really important for his followers to understand that he's a crazy person. Always has been, though.
So did the video he made shortly after the Elliot Page saga. Oh, my funniest Jordan Peterson, I think, besides the apple cider not making you sleep for a month, even though Joe Rogan's like, wow, bro, what is the fact that he got clowned on by his own community for that Sports Illustrated model where he's like, oh, no amount of authoritarianism will make me smash, not horny, the blood is not rising. And I was just like, that's so funny.
I don't know how he maintained the support base after that tweet. Like that,
right?
That just,
so many of them turned on him. The Reddit was just like roasting him alive. They're like, what the fuck? Yeah, you should be so lucky, old man. You're like, what? Come on.
Yeah, of all things to get enraged about.
Have we mentioned even what happened this week with him? How he got angry about what was it, toilet paper or something? It's like paper towel.
We didn't mention that. No.
You got. I think you have to pull up that tweet. That's like you need the visual. And apologies to the people listening to the podcast, because right now we're about to show the embarrassing Jordan Peterson tweet. If it can in fact be found. He also declared war on the Prime Minister of Canada by tweeting a video compilation of Bugs Bunny saying "This means war," and thought it was pretty epic as well. It was another thing that happened.
Let me bring this up.
The man is a clown.
Yeah.
David, they're saying something's wrong with your mic.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like it's coming through the computer.
The wrong mic is selected.
Oh, that may... Okay, I think I know why that's the issue. I'll fix that here.
I wasn't sure if it was like my speakers because I don't have headphones in, but now that you mentioned it's like, yeah, that's...
Someone else read the tweet while I fix this mic.
Up yours, woke moralist. I actually have the soundbite on my end that I could play. Tyranny is always petty, and petty tyranny will not save the planet. God, imagine getting enraged by this. I just can't. Like, you've got to have a really miserable life. You've got to be like just depressed constantly, sad, distraught. Like, if this honestly fucks up your entire day, then I just feel bad for you.
Oh yeah,
We're using
and
the
vitamin
word
deficient.
We're using the words tyranny to describe the Nazis.
Wait, did he follow it up? What did he
You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you. See what I'm saying? This is the world that I could live in.
So
maybe he's being a tiny bit hyperbolic.
Because 1, it's celebrated. 2, it's everywhere, and 3, people are willfully blind to it.
Okay. Whatever. This is, and then he had like another tweet. Didn't he have like another tweet like 2 hours later about people being so moralistic?
Moralist? Morals? What is moral? What is it? Moral?
Woke moralist.
No, you know why we laugh so much at this dude?
Oh my god, this guy tweets too much. I can't. Right.
Oh, he's a prolific tweeter. He cannot help himself. When he got his account taken away, apparently he was miserable. You can see it.
So I'm looking for the tweet he did like 2 hours later where he like complained about moralists after he tweeted about paper towel. I don't know. I'm not going to keep digging. All right, that's enough of this guy.
He tweets a lot. I was trying to find on my last Twitch stream a specific tweet, one where he was lambasting Greta Thunberg because she wrote a book, and you can already guess what the attack was. She's killing trees. But he tweeted that the day before. It took me like 15 minutes just to find that tweet from the previous day because this man tweets like 147 tweets per minute. It's insane.
I couldn't handle that much.
I mean, how does your brain not rot from that much Twitter?
Yeah.
Guess who else went woke this week? Lego.
Yep.
Lego, hell yeah.
You want to see this quick? This is a quick Fox News clip. I don't think they've revisited this because I think they got some pushback because this is clearly terrible.
I'm glad you have the clip. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I got the clip.
What did Lego do?
Oops, wrong button.
What happened? I missed
it. It's gonna be a rainbow pieces, isn't it? Like it's gonna be blocks and there'll be rainbow color. That's gonna be my prediction.
It's even more ridiculous.
Worse.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. It's more ridiculous. Oh no.
More ridiculous than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Jumping with Boga. Lego is going woke. The company unveiling a range of new characters in the effort to be more inclusive. Lego says the new characters will promote diversity and understanding. Some will have anxiety issues. I don't know how you show that.
How is that
One will have a missing limb, another Down syndrome. These are really important.
Whoa, hold on.
Do you want Lego in there?
Pause it. I wanna first of all bring up that one of the things they have a problem with is a Lego with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
That's going woke.
That
allowing a kid who has Down syndrome to have a character that's like
to have a representation.
Anyone who's not a white cisgendered male that's going
is basically it's thing I don't like. That's what they turned the word into. It's thing I don't like.
But I have to point out, when it comes to the Lego with the missing limb, isn't that all Legos if you want them to? You literally build them.
For Lego to save some money. They're just like
you build them. You can just leave. Has Lego always been woke?
We have to really appreciate that Chiron though. This made me laugh so hard yesterday. Lego goes woke. Figures with anxiety, comma, missing limb. That's just beautiful.
Wow, Fox.
And this is why I don't think they've revisited it, because it just makes them look terrible. But let's finish whatever the hell's left in this.
Do you want Lego in there?
Definitely not. But what's so fascinating about this story is the divide in the country. Republicans think it's insane that they're forcing identity politics into Legos. Democrats are upset that they didn't make a drag queen stripper. They're like, you call this a children's toy? What kind of set is this?
What? They're multicultural. There are other people. Maybe they want representation. I do
enjoy him coming out and just saying that Republicans are angry that a Lego would appeal to children with Down syndrome in such a way. I mean, just horrible
it's
shit.
Just hate. That's why I have a really hard time finding any way to commentate on any of this stuff now. Like this week, Matt Walsh was out saying that he'd rather die than have a kid who's trans. Like, how do you...
He said that.
There's no way to analyze that, right?
Like, your response was perfect to that, David.
So
for those of you who did not see, David shared the gif from Dumb and Dumber saying, so you're telling me there's a chance because he has multiple kids.
He has multiple kids, yeah.
Oh my God. Look, with these people, it's just at a point where it's unadulterated hate. They don't care. They know it sparks outrage, which means clicks, which means views. And that's really, at the end of the day, what this is about for them. They don't give a shit about any of this. If I were to put my opinion on this is about making money, not about caring about any values.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Listen, what I have to say to Lego is keep doing what you're doing, and you need to go full woke and come out with a Lego with a floating triangle head with a single eyeball in the middle.
That's right.
It is the only value it's about, and I keep saying this, I'm gonna say it every week. Republicans have a politics of fuck you. They hate. That's why anything that is deemed as inclusive, that's what the problem. Yes, they do. They do have a problem with the fact that you would make a toy that would appeal to children with Down syndrome or anything else because they don't like other. That's their whole thing. That's what it always translates to. Hey. Everything we've deemed as other, all the people we've deemed as other, they trying to be a part of the man. We not with it. We not with it. You're not supposed to be in the club. And that's what it translates to with everything. That's why it'd be so stupid. They be there talking about all kind of silly shit. The Little Mermaid, Legos. Okay, think about this. There's a whole country. You know what kind of shit is happening? Legos. The news. A headline. They're talking grown ass adults, dead ass are like Legos. Let me talk to Legos is up to.
Right.
Supply.
And it's not lost on me, too, that he just made something up. Like, he fabricated it out of thin air. He said that, there's both sides to this. One side is upset that there isn't a drag queen version of the Lego. Nobody said that.
Yeah.
Citation needed, bitch. Where the fuck?
I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it right now.
Binder's taking a stand. Binder's taking a stand.
Where's my drag Lego?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
God. And I've got to say that as a bit of an AFOL myself, that is an acronym for adult fan of Lego. Lego has always been really super woke. I don't
know that.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You can't just drop that.
That was a record scratch moment there.
And continue on as if it's
in the restaurant right now.
Okay. Lego has some adult sets that are amazing. So last year during Pride, they released the whole Pride flag set. It's like the trans LGBTQ plus Pride thing. I bought that one, put it together. It was amazing. They also have like an NES that you can build with a little TV, and it's like a display piece. And they have Yeah, the question mark block from Super Mario 64. Lego is fucking incredible. And they've always been very, very woke, though. They're not an American company, so they don't give a shit about our culture war, whatever the right says is important. So they just do what they do. And yeah, Lego's a good company. They're based.
Question: the rest of you play adult Legos too?
No, I never was into
play. We build and then display them
Building
as you would a
doesn't
model
mean
car,
playing
or
them.
maybe a
Like,
Warhammer figure that you paint.
I think he's just building them. I don't think he's like smashing them together.
I was never into like.
Basically, the way y'all turned into defense attorneys just now, it's giving yes. Then
You have Dragon Ball Z on your wall. Who are you to judge? What is this?
and the fact that you don't know that is what separates us.
Wait, what is it? Adult fan of Lego? Affle?
It's a whole ass community.
Affle.
A whole ass community.
I didn't know
I
what
wanted
but it
to
sounds
get
awesome,
the
honestly. I'm for
yeah. So I
adults
wanted to get the
playing
Nintendo set. They released like a Nintendo anniversary set or some shit. So I was.
Oh, I saw that. It was like 300. It was ridiculously expensive.
No, you're thinking of the Bowser. Bowser's $300. The Nintendo set's like $170 or something. But I looked at
that's a lot of money for Lego.
It is. No, it is. But there's a whole community where they like review it and they like build things like big models. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
If your Lego set if the price of your Lego set could actually be put towards buying the actual video game console, then your Lego set's too expensive.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think that's a fair rule. I will say as one last point on this, I think sometimes it also really sucks because in the opposite direction, there is certainly something to be said about companies that do like rainbow washing or green washing, right? Where they're basically going to use that as an opportunity to be like, hey, once a year when Pride comes along, we're gay. Or once a year when Pride comes along, we're bi. Yeah, we're suddenly coming out and then it's going to go away. We won't ever talk about it again. And then we're probably not going to do a lot of things to actually help the material conditions of LGBTQ plus people or the other people that are the quote woke quotient is getting raised for.
Honestly,
and then it's like fuck you after June.
But on that topic, I'm starting to wonder if the problem is them or is it us, right? Because are we not being honest about what capitalism is? Like, these are corporations, these are businesses. They have one focus. They're here to make money. They don't give a fuck. They exploit people all the time. And we suddenly want them to like be masters at like feigning care for social justice and marginalized group and other. They exploit all you niggas every day. All day. They fuck all of you. They're trying to get to the bag. Like, so like to me, rather than have an actual like larger conversation about capitalism and what that means in our society, that we have these big corporations and all this power and all this money and they don't give a flying fuck about people. Instead, we're like, oh, why don't you spread out the pretending across the year? Why just one? No, not just February. No, I think we should probably condemn capitalism. That's my contribution.
I'm on board.
I agree. Yeah.
I
mean, on one hand,
I don't want state-sponsored Lego. I want capitalist Lego.
I would like
every week I tell you
Lego so it could be subsidized because that shit is expensive. But
whoever runs the right social justice Illuminati is watching this show with like a target on David's head, just like ready to poach him. Capitalist.
They tried. I said no.
Government mandated girlfriend? No. Government mandated Lego set.
Yeah, I will say that like I think that rainbow capitalism, it is good in the sense that like exposure normalizes it, but at the same time it is so inherently gross because these same corporations that change their logos to rainbow flags, they contribute to anti-gay politicians. Like, it's nothing more than marketing. They want gay customers. So yeah, capitalism is the problem. Full stop.
Absolutely. And Joe, like you were just mentioning, Joe Rogan had Matt Walsh on his show. This is on Spotify, has 11 million listeners, to spout some of the most ascientific nonsense about trans people, like full-on hate speech. This is not like just, hey, they're getting a couple things wrong, but they're trying. No, it's just hate speech for like almost an hour and a half. And Spotify, that's the reason it pisses me off when they do that, because they will, at the same time, they will run campaigns. They will run, we are proud of our LGBTQ plus, creators. We are proud of the community. We want to to keep each other safe. That's why we, have terms of service and stuff like that. But it's like, no, you can clearly see when it's like the largest program on the entire network. This is the largest audience that you have. It's like, yeah, no, they'll allow it.
Yeah, they're fake friends. That's what it is. They're fake friends, and you
Fake
can't
allies.
really look more into that. Like the effect that they want it to have is, oh wow, Target changed their logo to the pride flag. They support me, so I want to go buy from their store. And like when I was younger, in my sock dem days, when I was a little lib, it worked on me, right? But now that I'm like very explicitly anti-capitalist, and I feel like the world is about to end, and I'm much more cynical, now it doesn't work on me. It's just like, oh great, what if I looked at the comment section as they change their avatar on Facebook, and then I see a bunch of F slurs? That's what I'll see now. Fuck you. Like, it's just, I don't know. That is what you see, by the way. Like, I did the dumb thing of looking at Xbox's comment section. Never check what gamers have to say about social issues. But they changed their logo to the rainbow, and it's, oh my God, it was bad. Why are you pushing this on our kids? Video games are for kids. How dare you? I'm like, oh my God, why did I look at the comments on Facebook of all places?
Well, that's what. It's Facebook.
Stuff like that. Facebook is what makes me really, really hope for hell. Like, I literally sometimes, I swear, I think about this like once a day. I be walking and I'm like, I really hope that they're right. I really hope all these bigots that always, they preaching that for whatever reason, they the ones that really believe in, divine heaven and hell. And I'm like, I hope you're fucking correct. I hope you sizzle, nigga. Like,
yeah, they're all going to hell. If they're right.
Y'all are some
100%.
horrible, whack ass, raggedy people. Like, why are you so fucking hateful? And how have you convinced yourself that there's any kingdom in heaven that's fucking with that? Listen, I pray there is a hell, and I pray God let you buy tickets. I hope you could like pick selections of people you can see sizzle and out from heaven. I'm like,
that's the entertainment.
Yes, like, I
didn't know there were spectator seats.
I hope when you get to the gates of heaven for entrance.
Is there like nosebleeds? Really like you gotta get way high up and away from the action to see it.
Dog, I hope that there's like, if there's an elevator to hell, if you was really fucking up on earth, God don't let you take the elevator, he just kick you in the back and just guide down to hell. Oh my God, I have to go to hell. Okay, all right.
It's a nice thought, at least, right? Like,
yeah.
That's a great point. It does make me long for like some sort of justice, because some people like the most evil people, like, not only are they rich, but they live so long. I mean, think of Henry Kissinger. The man is 150 years old, and he just will not die. We're all waiting so we can celebrate. We've got the champagne ready, but the motherfucker will not die.
Even then,
so you just
what do
like
you celebrate? He lived a very long life
some
without
sort
consequence.
of like retribution in the afterlife,
I saw this conversation online a couple of months back, and it's like, at this point, there is no like comeuppance for someone like Henry Kissinger. He won.
Not.
He's gonna
whenever
he dies, he's gonna live have lived a long, consequence-free life.
Yeah.
Although I did see one reply to this that discourse on Twitter when I saw it, that did give me a little bit of hope, and that is that Henry Kissinger can still die in an extremely funny way, and then we'll get a little something out of it. Like, he could still die in a very ridiculous, over-the-top way that goes down in the record books as, like, when you're reading the Wikipedia page of, like, when you're looking back at, like, random people hundreds of years ago, and you're reading their Wikipedia page, and it's like, John Smitherson died after a horse kicked him in the balls? Like, he could still die in some really funny way.
Would it be a TOS violation if we like went around and each shared like the funny way that we hope he dies?
Yes, that would.
We can make it more generic though.
This is all
what is a really funny way that anyone could die? Like, what is a really funny way that someone could die?
I'll tell you how I would like to die. Which
well,
is a funny
you want to die in a funny way?
Well, I would like to be hit by an asteroid.
That's not very funny, being that we would all be dead with you.
No, not like a giant one. Not like a giant one, but like like one that's small enough just to kill me.
A David-sized asteroid.
Yeah, small.
So you want like a Donnie Darko type deal, but instead of a satellite.
I don't think he wants to know. He doesn't want to count down.
Instant, so
that would be the difference.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, as instant as possible for sure would be the best way. But in terms of funny, I think that is a different category, like altogether. Like when I think of funny deaths, I think of like, I don't know, falling into something that
Well, the funniest death I've ever heard. The funniest death I've ever heard is hands down the founder of Segway dying after he rode his Segway off a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get funny.
True story. True story. He's not lying. Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The founder of Segway died because he was riding his Segway and it went off a cliff.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm being dead serious.
Or something, and he wasn't paying attention. And
How
literally
you
went off
don't
the
see a
cliff.
cliff?
Oh, it was an accident. Wow.
Texting and
Cliff just popped up
segueing.
on him.
Wait, he was
I'll pull it
texting?
up.
Blair, did you say he was texting and segueing?
No. Text. I think he was like texting, literally looking at his phone and just not paying attention.
Off a cliff, niggas. This Looney Tunes. What are we
I have to add an addendum.
cliff?
It wasn't the founder of Segway. It was the former owner of like the company Segway, not the founder of the company. It was a different. I guess they had different owners over the years, but the owner of Segway fell off a cliff while riding his Segway PT near his home.
Wow.
That's a way to go. Wow.
I'm not sure where we go from there.
That's a hard segue.
I think if I was an elderly man who was responsible for many atrocities throughout the world over my course of this hypothetical role I played in a big government, it would be very funny, I guess, if that person would have died if they, I don't know, slipped on a banana peel. Which then brought them into a... they slipped on a banana peel and slipped for a very long time, straight down the street, into a garbage bin, but they were fine. But then at that same moment, a garbage truck was to lift that garbage bin up and throw it into the truck, crushing him, but he would still be alive. And then as the truck is driving, a huge Mack truck hits that garbage truck, causing a huge explosion. He's still alive, while the fire in the truck is... I don't know, I can keep going.
No, white man. I will not allow y'all to just laugh while this sociopath is in our midst. Like, I want to say that I knew. I it was Slytherin weeks back, right? Slytherin, that's what I said. Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? Y'all saw how he was very hell-bent on us having this conversation, right, about funny deaths, and then he told a not so funny scary story.
Highly specific.
I think multiple things happening to someone is very funny. So
it just sounds very like a cartoon. That's just not possible.
Yeah, like a Looney Tunes type deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember when people gave us feedback that we're not structured enough?
No, that's what makes this show fun, though. That's what makes this show fun.
There is some spontaneity for sure.
Blair, you have the Google form, right?
I did not make a Google form tonight because I thought we were having a guest, so I was like, I'll chill out on that tonight.
It's all right, Raul. I got plenty of fun clips for us all to share.
Oh, clips! I love clips. I'm big.
All right, then let's do Charlie Kirk. I'm not sure if you guys saw this today, but
the witches!
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my goodness!
We gotta spoil it. The witches. Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, like, there's. I don't think there's any way of predicting where we're about to go with this based on the limited amount of information I've already given out. What I presented won't.
Well, we'll see.
Some people are emailing us, Charlie.
Actually,
okay, wait, hold on. Is this the guy that people like has the small head and then people Photoshop it smaller?
Yes.
That's the only thing I know about this.
There's a website where you can make it any size you want.
Big head.
Small face. We're not talking about. We're not. No. We're just talking about his face, not his head.
I don't know this man.
Some people
That's all
are
you need to
emailing
know.
us, Charlie, don't make fun of witches. They have a lot of power. That's not true. They do not have a lot of power, but they do have some. If they're really into it, I do believe there's some very dark spiritual implications and dynamics here. And look, I've encountered witches before. When I was once speaking, this is not a joke. When I was once speaking at Legacy Church in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the land of enchantment, which is, in my opinion, the most outwardly pagan state remaining in America. A lot of great Christians, but there's a lot of weird witchcraft that happens in New Mexico.
I spoke at Steve Smotherman's church, and I was talking about how I believe marriage was between one man and one woman. This was back in July of 2021. I'm not making a word of this up. Mikey could attest to this. Our whole team can. And three witches came up and they started
but not
saying
gay
stuff to
marriage.
me. And maybe it was a coincidence, maybe it wasn't, but I got super sick right after that. Again, maybe it's just a coincidence. Who knows? Maybe it's all a bunch of...
Hold up. Let me just recap here. So during a global pandemic, he spoke to a massive crowd in the year 2021 when COVID was raging, and he talked to three witches. So that's why he got sick. Not because of the global pandemic with a giant crowd, but because three witches talked to him.
And specifically, the spell that they used on him
The
was
incantation. Yeah, it's some Shakespeare shit.
I don't know
Horse
what to say
pucky
to
and
that.
all that, but that was pretty chilling. And so they came into the church. And by the way, Steve Smotherman, great friend in Albuquerque, tells me they have witches that come into their church all the time. And you might think it's all a bunch of nonsense and it's all just a bunch of vapor, or you might think that there's actually a spiritual war playing out. Obviously, I believe that those unclean spirits are subservient to Christ and to
He
the
thinks
one
he's
God.
Macbeth. I just realized that.
Okay.
Bro.
I don't even know what. There's no commentary to add there, really.
Like oh my god, like this is what I don't appreciate, man. Like, oh fuck, if you're gonna start talking about witches and wizards, like at least provide a rubric. At least provide a rubric. What were the requirements? Like, what is on your list of like 3 out of 12 things must be present to be a witch? And what did they have? Like nothing. You Charlie Kirk, you just okay, witches? How did you know? How did you know?
Because it's New Mexico. They have witches there.
And he got sick. Remember. He
And
got
why,
sick during
if
the pandemic.
you keep with witches, if witches are bad, how come you was kikiing with the witches? Why you was chatting up with the witches? If you know witches,
they approached him. Yeah, so they came from a distance, and then they did an incantation, and then he feels sick later. He doesn't know. He hasn't confirmed if they actually were witches. Could be three women being like, put a mask on or don't cough on us. I don't know.
It does sound like something he's totally like pulling out of his ass and making up. Like the night before, a ghost visited him.
Stolen
in his bed,
witch
and he
valor?
was like,
Is that what you're saying?
Charlie Kirk,
I don't like
tomorrow
that.
you will be visited.
To put up a button down and a tie and go be that and go act that ass and like that. No, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. Like there should be some kind of law. You can't put banners on your videos and give your parents the news when you start talking shit like this. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? The witches? All y'all
Folks,
know
I have some breaking news, by the way, about this. We have found the witches in question. I actually have a photograph here that I'm sharing.
Oh, wow.
If it will let me share it.
I have to add a stream. There we go.
Sister.
There we go. These are the three witches.
I mean, that's science. Right
Honestly,
there.
seems legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
Unreal.
I wasn't ready for that. Thank you.
It's honestly unreal and ridiculousness.
Well, I mean, that's not really far off. This is really cartoonish, just for a grown adult to be doing this as a show. To have like, I have a news show. Let me tell you about when the witches cast me.
Also, you can't in the same breath tell me you can't tell me you believe in witches but not gay marriage. I'm not going. I'm not going. Because it wasn't Jesus who told you about the witches. For sure, I know it. That's not a Jesus thing. Like that's not what you. I don't understand what's happening. What's up? Like you seem real imaginative, Speedy. You seem like you could imagine a lot of stuff, but you can't wrap your head around gay people. That's really fucking you up. But you can see witches.
I think it makes it so much funnier because, like, as he's describing this story about how witches cast a spell on him, he has to like be very specific and be like, it was at a conference, and I was talking about how I believe marriage should be between a man and a woman, and I feel like that makes it more funny. But if you were to watch this live, I actually checked out the live stream for this. His chat was ignoring everything that he was saying, and they were just doing pronoun jokes back and forth. Like they were very stuck on one pronoun joke in particular. Somebody had said. And it was a user named Daffy for President. It was very substantial. And they said, my name is Michael Jackson and my pronouns are he. and the chat just was busting a gut for like 10 minutes.
That's like one of those old like chainmail type jokes. Like that's not funny at all. It's so stupid.
Well, it's also the one joke. It's always the one joke.
Yeah.
I will say though, upon thinking about it as we've been talking, I do believe that he was visited by these three witches, because that would totally explain his ever shrinking face and his growing head.
That's what people told me on Twitter.
They put that spell on him.
They were like, no, the witch has shrunk his face, Lance. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I apologize. I would have made that tweet if I'd known that he was a victim of an incantation.
Charlie Kirk is Beetlejuice in that end scene where the head shrinking guy
that dude
put
was
some
awesome.
dust on his head.
Haters are going to say that photos that they see of his head shrinking is photoshopped. It's not. It's a spell, okay?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm sad I didn't prepare questions, because now I can't wrangle y'all in and we're out here talking about witches.
Oh, what's next, David? What else you got for us? Bring us some more clips.
I got 3 clips.
We're
but
on
should I
track
just
to have
blow
the
it all
most
now, or
unhinged
should I
episode
spread them out, or what?
No, let's throw them all out, and then if we need more, we could just grab stuff as we go.
This one is maybe a little more serious, but it's still it's a Fox News clip, because this is a jumping off point. But we will watch.
Cue it up. What do we got? What's the show? Who's on?
It is Fox and Friends, as you see here, and they're talking about the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, and all of a sudden, these Fox News hosts, at least Brian Kilmeade, is surprised to find out that regulation might actually be a good thing. The audio is the audio low? Yeah, it's low to me.
Yeah,
it's quite low.
Bring it up a little bit. Let's see if this.
Brian Kilmeade was visited by 3 witches who took away his voice.
I'm also only getting one ear, but I can't. This is not my clip, so whatever.
Say is I knew nothing about these derailment numbers. I'm stunned by it. That we have thousands of derailments all the time, and how costly it is, and how they're not kept up, and maybe the regulation needs to be there. I think there needs to be. There's a widespread sentiment to have a look at the whole rail industry, what the lobbyists are doing, and what the actual. I heard there were 3 people on that train. Of how many cars? 20 of which had chemicals in it. Somebody at the front, somebody at the back.
Is this baby's first government oversight is good, actually?
Wait,
Yeah,
so does Brian Kilmeade want the government to tell a corporation how many employees need to be staffed on a train? Who does
Maybe
he
give them
think
paid sick
he
days?
is? I mean, this is like this is baby brain shit. This is like obvious to anyone who's been paying attention to, I don't know, anything since, I don't know, I guess the Reagan years, if not even before that. But it seems like a lot of that deregulation started then and continued throughout every single Republican presidency, and probably under Clinton and Obama too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of
what
course,
he's saying sounds like
in case you don't
socialism.
know, on this derailment in particular, like Trump's administration they deregulated the industry to the point where ECP brakes were not required on trains with hazardous material, which may have led to this disaster being worse than it actually was. Not to
Okay.
mention the other deregulation and then the layoffs by this company that led to less people being on the trains. Like it's a whole, like the issue, the heart of the issue is deregulation, which the Republican Party, that's what they're all about.
But David, I
And
have
Brian
a
Kilmeade
counterpoint.
is just now realizing this.
I have to counterpoint that. What about if you show up and you give everyone McDonald's? Does that make it better?
And sign some hats.
Politically, it actually may.
Yeah, I think so, actually. I was like, whoa, he's using his own partially, you are to blame a little bit here, natural disaster, as a press op. And it's probably going to have a good effect for him, which is pretty
In
fucked
case
up.
people
I think so
don't know what we're
too.
talking about, Donald Trump showed up to East Palestine, Ohio, I think yesterday, and showed up at McDonald's there, bought everyone McDonald's, and then talked about, how people are, working hard to get you all help and all this stuff, all this trash. This is after, of course, he deregulated the rails. Like, it's so blatant, so shameless.
He also condescended to workers, saying
in
you
large
knew
part
the menu.
responsible. So he should, in theory, be afraid to show his face unless he's going to apologize. But no, I think that this is optically and politically very good for him because
without
while
a doubt.
he is there, he can run this ad. See, I was in East Palestine with Americans while Biden was in Ukraine. Who was there for you? Like I think that politically, the Biden administration is kind of fucked up by not doing more and not going there sooner. And I think that this is going to be a political win for Trump for sure. If you look at like the videos, they were like really excited that he was there, not just like celebrity, but like the things that they were saying. It was like, oh, thank you for coming. I'm so glad you didn't forget about us. And even if he is doing this in a very cynical way, obviously, I think that there still is some intrinsic value to just like a high profile figure going there and bringing attention to an issue that they feel isn't being covered enough. So I think that like what Trump did is really great for him, bad for the country. But like Democrats need to learn from Republicans when it comes to politics and just know how to play politics better. And like we shouldn't be discussing politics in the context of like an environmental ecological disaster like this, but you kind of have to, because our system just doesn't care about people. We care about corporations. It's a late stage capitalism, right? But like for Trump to go there, even just for like a quick 10-minute speech and to bring bottled water, like that looks good, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
He brought a dozen cases, only a dozen cases, according to a local news report, of bottled water.
Oh, well, he said thousands. He's so full of shit.
There's a really funny thing he said too about the water, where he called the water he was bringing Trump water, and then he said that they didn't have enough Trump water, so they also brought some lower quality water.
That's the best, baby.
Not the best.
He's the only person that can get away with shit like that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But for Biden to be in Ukraine, for Pete Buttigieg to actually, Pete showed up today, I think, after 23 days or 20 days. So yeah.
Also, I want to say that I don't want people. I think it's also. I'm not saying any of you did this, but I've seen this. I was on the Majority Report earlier today, and there was people who said that Biden shouldn't have gone to Ukraine. He should have went to here, right here instead. I mean, there's no reason why he couldn't do both. It's not a either or game here. It's not like one is more important than the other. This didn't just happen in Ohio. Biden could have easily went in the weeks earlier and still had time to go to his visit in Ukraine.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I also want to point out that Pete Buttigieg, like, he's usually pretty good at dismantling like the right-wing talking points, but in this instance, he's like shitting the bed. He was asked about Trump going there, and his response was something to the effect of, well, I'd love for him to call for the regulations to be put back in place. That'd be a great help. But it's like, okay, I get that. I understand that you have to say this, but you have power right now. You have to wield the power. If he deregulated, you can re-regulate. So you can't.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bizarre for him to say, well, Trump should be asking for this. Then he'll be calling you out for not doing it. Like,
yeah,
like
right.
What are you talking about?
You're the Secretary
It's
of
like, what are you even
Transportation.
expecting? And there was this Daily Caller reporter who approached Pete Buttigieg before he went to East Palestine. And, it's a bad faith propaganda outlet, right? But the questions that she was asking were genuine. Like, hey, are you going to go to East Palestine? What do you have to say to the people who were affected? And he was just a complete dick to her. And then ignored her. Oh, this is personal time now. He's with his husband. And then he stopped to take a picture of her. It's like, okay, can you imagine if this happened on the opposite side? I think that, Democrats would rightfully condemn a public official who is refusing to talk to press, even if it's a propaganda outlet. So it's like you see optical disaster after PR disaster, and then Trump swoops in, looks like the fucking hero after he's the one whose deregulation caused this. It's just so frustrating. And the lesson is going to be overall that, oh, see, Trump cares about us, when in actuality, nobody's really talking about the policies and the deregulation that led to this. And it's not like the only disaster. So back in 2018, I don't know if you all remember this in the US. So there was this lettuce shortage. I shouldn't say shortage, but you'd go into the grocery store and you couldn't find fucking romaine lettuce. And the reason for that was because there was an E. coli outbreak. Yeah. Dozens of people were sick and hospitalized. And one rule that could have prevented this was taken away by Donald Trump. So, like, we've seen so many disasters as the result of deregulation, but everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean like voters in particular, tend to focus on the politics instead of the policy. And Democrats, like, as wrong as they are, they try to focus more on policy, whereas Republicans focus on the politics angle of it. So it's like substance versus like, you know, rhetoric and whatnot. And there needs to be like a molding of these things, and Democrats need to actually take action, but they also have to look at the politics angle of this and how they're being viewed right now. Because if I lived in East Palestine, I'd be fucking pissed. I'm like, it's been how many weeks now, and the president hasn't visited? Like, this is a massive disaster. Like, this whole area might be uninhabitable. We don't know.
It's very simple. Like, this is not complicated stuff. Just show up there, and like, even I get it, Biden's in Ukraine or whatever. Pete Buttigieg should have been there way earlier, or as Bender said, Biden could have gone earlier. Like, there's really no excuse, and it's as simple as showing up. You show up. That's enough for a lot of people is to see that, hey, our leadership actually cares. They're actually here, even though, again, yes, what actually matters is policy and what's actually being done. But when it comes to, you know, winning elections, when it comes to gaining support, if you're not showing up, then you're going to lose a lot of people who largely, you know, aren't into politics. Like that's kind of what you're losing here, because Trump, I don't think is going to gain any Democratic voters from doing this. But what you do possibly gain are people who are disillusioned completely by the political system. But you have Trump showing up and doing what he does, and that can be enough for some people to kind of activate them.
I don't know. Speak for yourself, David. Trump saying he brought some lesser quality water really won me over. I think he's got my vote.
He's entertaining. That's why he wins this shit. Like, he's entertaining for a lot of people, and that's part of his appeal. Which is, it's crazy that's entertaining, but that is.
I also want to point out though that, like, obviously this is an important conversation in terms of how you know, Democrats fuck up on the messaging and the, you know, the visuals and the story that comes out of this from the media, but I also don't want to miss the what's right in front of us here, and that's the reason why Trump did this. And quite honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with Biden. This is his way of digging in at Ron DeSantis. That's where Trump is right now. That's where his mind is right now. This is calling out DeSantis and saying, I own the base, and I'll continue to own the base because I continue to pretend to be the voice of the people when you guys don't. I'm still pretending to be that populist, and the base believes it. You guys don't have that. You will never have it. What stopped we're talking about what stopped Biden from going there? What stopped Ron DeSantis from going there? He's running for president. He's got to face Trump first. This is going to be fresher.
Which is why he hasn't.
Running.
He's running. I know, but he hasn't announced. It'd be super weird if the Florida
went to
governor
Staten.
randomly shows up.
He just went to Staten. He just went to Staten Island to talk to the NYPD. He knows he's running. He's running.
Yes, Bender.
Then he definitely should have been there.
Yeah, I agree with Bender.
Yeah,
1000% Bender. You're on fire. Yup.
Well, and to add to Bender's point, I don't know if you saw, but Trump put out a truth on Truth Social, whatever the fuck he calls it, and he was attacking Ron DeSantis for wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, calling him an elitist. So that whole being this populist is, I think, definitely part of it as well. And while we're on the subject of him, I've just got to point out that he said probably the most honest thing, the most real thing ever. Like, he walked into a McDonald's and he's like, I probably know this menu better than you. And it's like, you know what? I believe
and there was condescending right afterwards too.
It's unfortunate, but he was likable in that clip. Like, he was talking about how all these workers here look amazing. Like, he was very kind. He bought the McDonald's for the firefighters. Everyone that it's very basic politics.
Yeah,
it's very simple
politics.
shit. And if you know anything at all about Trump and policy and what he's done, none of it holds. But on the surface level, that's all people care about a lot of the time.
Yeah, he went to Flint, Michigan in 2016. That made a difference.
Listen, I grow weary. Why is our bar so low on the ground for white men, son? Like, ain't nothing cute about that job at a hot white supremacist talking shit. Like, we need to stop. We need to raise our bar for charismatic entertaining. Like, honestly,
I agree, but this is where, we're just analyzing what actually works right now, and this is what's working right now. Like, that's unfortunate, but that's what's working.
And I mean, honestly, is it working? Is anybody new being mobilized? I think it's more, like I said, I feel like what is happening right here, I feel like we're observing some intracommunal shit. This is Republican on Republican. This is Trump on DeSantis. I feel like that's what is happening more. So I don't think he's not mobilizing anybody. No one new nobody knew, like, it's fine out, but Donald Trump from this and like, oh, This is it. Like, there's no deviation. He's doing more of the same, but he's doing something to demonstrate a message to DeSantis. That's what this is. I don't think he's getting anybody new. I don't think anybody's new. No one new saw it and was like, hey, I didn't like that guy, but hey, that Trump might be one charismatic son of a bitch. I don't think that happened. I don't think that went down.
Right.
I think he just got
you're right, yeah.
his fucking nerves. That's what he did.
Right. No one who was like, I was going to vote for Biden, but then I saw that Trump went to East Palestine. But people in East Palestine who met Trump and shook his hand and got that free McDonald's and a Trump Make America Great Again hat, that might be all they needed to push them from even thinking about voting for DeSantis or whoever else
or anyone
in the Republican primary.
Yeah.
And they are now 100% for Trump. That sealed the deal for anyone who met Trump that day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I went to school in Ohio. That's actually where I moved there. I spent most of my time in the States in Ohio, and I can assure you, they weren't thinking about Biden. They weren't. He didn't stand a chance.
Let me tell you, if a presidential candidate bought me a Big Mac, I'd start to listen to what they had to say.
Oh yeah, I'd at least stay for like an ice cream cone or something.
Yeah, what's going on with Ohio, by the way? I mean, there was an explosion this week, too, at some factory. I mean, all hell is breaking loose in Ohio.
The fish are all dying, the birds are dying, the cows are dying, all the animals are dying.
In the world. We moved on as a world by paying attention, but like, I don't know if y'all remember when a global pandemic broke out that hasn't left yet.
It's still there.
All hell is breaking out. There's been a string of unfortunate events. Like, it has
or the
never
earthquake in
left.
Turkey and Syria.
It's giving very last chapter of the Bible. It's been giving that for a while. So I'm like derailment. You say
Well, we can lighten up a little bit. I got a George Santos clip.
George Santos.
I'm not sure if you all saw what happened this week, but okay. Well, then, no spoiling, because this is good. This shit's good. I really enjoyed this.
Did he finally wear drag?
Oh,
No.
Oh, even better.
Did you not think people would find this?
Hold up.
Well, hold on. Spoiler alert. This guy still has a show somewhere?
Somewhere.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been battling people on the right now instead. Kind of
Pierce Morgan.
himself
All
as
right,
the centrist, yeah.
Did you not think people would find this out?
Pierce, not after
You're not running to be like a reality TV.
No,
star,
no, I understand.
Right? If you were going on Celebrity Apprentice, which I went on, right? It doesn't matter. You can embellish stuff about yourself. Nobody cares, right? But to run for Congress of the United States and to just tell blatant lies about even your academic record, I'm just struck, not necessarily that a politician would lie, but that you would think no one would find out.
Well, I'll humor you this. I ran in 2020 for the same exact seat for Congress, and I got away with it then. And I guess.
Right. Well, that's not
This is an SNL skit. No, this is an SNL skit.
No, I didn't think so.
There you go.
Wait, no, hold on, wait, no, dead ass, no, that's a skit, right?
No, he came clean. This is legit.
This is real.
I have a second clip. If you want the other another
Second clip.
You want the second clip? Okay,
Yes.
You guys are enjoying this? All right, I'll bring the second clip in. I just gotta pull it up here because I covered this earlier this week. This was hilarious news to me because I thought he would just keep it going and what?
I have no choice but to stand from this moment forward. Hold on. From this moment forward.
No.
From this moment forward, no George Santos slander will get by me. That motherfucker. Hold on. That's the most gangster shit I ever seen in my life. He said, hey, I'll humor you this, nigga. I got away with it already. He said, how would I think I could get away with it? Well, nigga, I already did. And what? I'm in Congress, bitch. And what? So he blinked. He did this. He said, what? And he said, well, I'll tell you what. I ran already. Nah.
And what's also incredible is that you hadn't heard about this already. Like the fact that this isn't even news, that he came out, he's like, yeah, I'm a big fat liar, and like he's still in Congress, and, you know, everything's fine.
The minute we get off this show, I'm gonna make a video about it because this is the best thing that I ever seen. Like,
Okay, well, here's another one. Here's another one.
I think that part of your process, of the cathartic process of redemption, if you like, it's got to start from, I've been a terrible liar. I mean, would you be prepared to say that?
Sure. Like I said, well, I've been a terrible liar on those subjects, and what I tried to convey to the American people is, I made mistakes of allowing the pressures of what I thought needed to be done in order.
This gets good. Listen.
This wasn't about tricking anybody. This wasn't about this. It's.
Yes, he was.
No. Let me finish.
The whole thing was about tricking people.
Let me finish. It wasn't about
performance
tricking
actor.
people. This was about getting accepted by the party.
I think.
Isn't that amazing? You have to be a pathological liar to be accepted by the party.
Wow.
That's what he is saying.
Yo, he said, I wanted to didn't I say weeks back, my man's is just, this is just an experiment? He just is, I loved, you know what? I knew, I said it. And when y'all told the story about with the Hayden ass roommate with the Burberry scarf, I knew I was on his side then. I knew I was on his side. Yo, son.
Did.
Where he got a bro? Oh, damn! This is the first time I really wish I could vote. I wish I could vote. I'm campaigning for George Santos. What? You talking about Trump is likable? That nigga's likable. Okay, what? I fuck with him.
I don't know. Some of the shit he's not.
No, you saw his
Yeah,
you saw the application on that. He didn't break a sweat. He said, "I'll humor you this." Got away with it already. He said, would you be prepared to say you're a terrible liar? Sure. And what? And what? He said, oh, you were trying to fool the people? He said, no, I did, but no, I was trying to fool the party and I did that too. That's a gangster. Yo, that uncancel this week. I'm going to vote at the end of that.
Oh my God. But he's actually hurt people's lives. Like he stole money.
Let a dog
from
die.
people.
He let a dog die. Come on.
Doggy dog world, David.
Well, geez, I guess so.
I dropped the link in the chat to his Smule account that leaked. I don't know if these were songs that he sang when he was in drag, but there's like 20 minutes of video of him just singing. It's not video, it's audio, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's germane to the conversation, but I feel like it
It's
may
not
be
in
of
the video
interest.
though. It's just like audio.
The George Santos biopic is gonna go so fucking crazy.
Oh, it's gonna go.
Oh,
hard.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get the behind the scenes. This motherfucker is iconic. Like it's iconic.
His excuse is still it's hilarious to me because like yes, you have to lie to be in the party, obviously, but you don't have to lie about being on Hannah Montana. Like
Or
you don't have to
making
lie
the
about your
Spider-Man
mom
musical.
dying in 9/11.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
these are not lies you have to make, really.
and yet he did. And he achieved. Okay, yo, but listen, y'all better what this hardworking man.
I have
Did we
one
invite him on the
more-
show?
Bro,
No.
oh God, I'm not
Fuck
gonna
outta
lie.
here.
No.
I have one more clip. This one he actually
Oh,
lies.
no?
So
Sigma.
in this
That's-
interview,
that's
he
the
lied.
grind
Like,
set.
of course, because it's him, he lies again. But this is so I'll explain how he lied after I show you this. Let me just turn the audio up on my end. Let me know. Is the audio still really low, or because I have a little thing here that can higher the
a little
volume,
low.
but I'm not sure if it's actually working.
Yeah, it's a little bit low.
Okay, I probably can't do much then. But let's see.
I've always made this as a party favor joke, and I've done it on stages across
What's
this
funny
country.
about falsely claiming you're Jewish?
No, not falsely claiming I'm Jewish. I'd always say I was raised Catholic, but I come from a Jewish family, so that makes me Jewish. Ish.
But again,
it's always been a party favorite. Everybody's always laughed, and now that everybody's canceling,
it doesn't make it
everybody's
normal
pounding down for a
or
better
okay.
I never said I was. I
said you were.
And I would always say, but my grandparents are Jewish on my mother's side,
It's
so
a vibe.
I'm Jew-ish. That was always a joke. Everybody used to laugh it up. I said it to a room with 1,000 people in November. People were hysterically laughing. It was funny to them. They loved it.
I don't think Jewish people find it funny.
They were Jewish. I was in a room with the Republican
Do you think
Jewish
Jewish
coalition.
people find it funny?
Oh
that
my
a
God,
US
you did that.
congressman
I have a Jewish
with
friend.
no apparent background of any Jewish heritage whatsoever.
Look at the hate in his
other than
eyes
you
for
say you-
Pierre. Oh, I love it.
So this last bit, this is the blatant lie right here. I'll show you.
No one can find it. I think a lot of Jewish people would find that offensive.
I beg differ. When we were at the RJC in November, I've always made this as a.
So he claims the RJC in November laughed at the fact that he claimed he was Jewish. Well, this is the statement they released after it came out that he was not Jewish. We are very disappointed in Congressman-elect Santos. He deceived us and misrepresented his heritage. So they did not think it was a joke. They thought he was Jewish. They were not laughing in the room about him being Jewish. So he still had to lie because it's George Santos in that interview.
Personally, I hate a snitch, so nobody asked him, but I statement like let my nigga cook, like let him cook, like at this point just let him cook, like okay, he's already established. Like honestly, it's ridiculous, you know, in the law, when we recognize that somebody is a pathological lie, when they have a history of lying, you do not put them on the stand because their credibility is going to be thrown. You can't question them. If you want to interview a nigga who done told you I'm a pathological liar, that's on you. You're looking for the truth. He told you the truth doesn't live here. He done said that. He said, I'm here for lying. I love lies. Lies are fun. And I get away with it. And then you sitting up there in his face expecting him to tell the truth. He is a method actor. I done told you all that this motherfucker is the greatest actor of our time. He's fucking hilarious, bro.
I mean, it probably takes a good actor to pull this off, to lie this much, to lie that often, to know this statement is out there in public and you still lie about them laughing at your joke in this interview on television. Like, come on.
Aside, like when I say to you, think about how sinister, like I would love to be like a fly on the wall of the indoors. What this motherfucker's doing is like, what kind of normal, like he's giving old boy from Christian Bates in Christian Bates, you know what I'm talking
American
about.
Psycho.
Yes, Bing, because something ain't right, boy. Something. You say he looking at him, the fact that my man's, listen, that is the most even face to just make up a whole, just his whole aesthetic is one that is very like, and the way he's looking at Pierce just, it's like it's all good right now, motherfucker, but you're gonna come up missing.
He's probably got some more skeletons in that closet. He has to. Like, there's a lot more that we don't know, for sure.
But we will.
I love it.
Wow.
I'm gonna get me a George Santos shirt. Oh, this man is hilarious. Like the movie is gonna go crazy. Like I cannot wait till the day they have the documentary, like the scary documentary about all this shit. Oh, it's gonna be excellent. Like he's probably like a legitimate psycho. Like there's probably some real like, cause what's up? But he just there's something really gangsta about that I just can't help but I think where it's so movie-ish, the same way, you watch a movie about a bad character, but they're the protagonists, so you're invested in that bad character's bullshit because wow, look at the balls on you, my guy. Like look at the balls on you. And I just can't help but notice. Hey, that's some gangster shit. When last did you see anybody that was the most Bahamian shit I ever seen? Like only Caribbean people do shit like that. Like what do you mean? He said, I don't know when he said, "Oh, I'll humor you this," I thought he was gonna like start defending himself. This motherfucker said he answered the actual question. Like Piers Morgan said, "Is that you? I can't believe you thought you could fool people." And he said, "Well, nigga, I did it already." What do you mean? Why? What do you mean you can't believe? Why would I believe that? And he said, based on evidence and history, I made an informed calculation that 100% of the time thus far, I pull that shit off. So I'm likely to pull it off again. A gangster. I have to stand. We have no chance.
This is how we know that you're such a good defense attorney, because like you're single-handedly raising his approval rating.
I know. raising those stocks. Stocks are soaring right now.
That's really be me in court, son. when I'd win bail arguments, I really thought I'd lose. I'm like, oh shit, I got that off. I'm like, oh judge, you word, you let me do that. Okay, excellent. Like, great, you going for it. We love to see it. That's the best.
There is something just naturally sort of, not saying you have to like him or he's a good guy, obviously, but there is something likable about someone who basically just looks at this system and basically pulls the wool over their own eyes. Like, he basically just said, like, I came in, I lied to all of you, I showed what a bunch of bullshit this whole thing is. And here I am, and I will face no consequences for it based on the fact that he's still a congressman.
Yeah.
True.
You picked the right party. I mean, the Democratic Party, I think, would not allow such a
No, I don't think so.
That's the thing, he made it
and that shows their weakness. Like that's the issue with them.
Or it just shows somebody's willing. Like, honestly, this is a masterclass in being really honest about what you're dealing with and saying fuck the rest of the audience. That man looked at the Republican Party and said, foolishness here. This is what it is. It is not a game of truth and credentials and blah, 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 blah. He said, let's start doing math. Let's do math and let's run it up. And that's what he said. He said, listen, this is a party of buffoons. That's what he just told them. He's like, listen, no, I'm not trying to fool the people. He's like, I'm trying to give these people exactly what it is that I know that they like. And he's right. That's the thing about it. He's absolutely fucking correct. He is in Congress. That is chef's kiss. Like, that's not on anybody other than us. And honestly, I don't know what it says about the other side too, because I'm hanging off the left, and I'm like, wow, I'm impressed. Color me impressed. Like, wow. Like, if he worked for somebody, like, do you realize depending on, we don't know what George Santos' real agenda is. We don't know. That's not even that man's real name. We have no idea. Like, that man is.
He has 3 names. His name's also Anthony DeValder.
4 names, actually, if you include performance names.
Exactly. Yeah. So we don't know who created him, who sent him to destroy SB 613. Like, we don't know. Like, so we don't know. Like, he could be Severus Snape. We don't know. He might be there for us. We have no idea. Like, we have no idea who sent him. Like, I'm like, the world may never know. Find out next on Dragon Ball Z. I'm waiting. I don't know.
So I just dropped a story in the chat. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this. It is very, very spicy. Lots and lots of gay slurs. But I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Log Cabin Republicans.
Yeah, of course.
Basically, they're gay Republicans who try to convince everyone else that the Republican Party is welcoming and inclusive. So the Log Cabin Republicans has an affiliate organization called Outspoken, and they just announced their list of new ambassadors to the program. It's mostly self-loathing gay and trans people. But one of the individuals who they hired is quite literally a self-identified homophobe. And there's a video that we have queued up right now where she says it. Like, she says everything. So content warning, slurs here. But this is who a gay Republican organization hired as an ambassador.
Hey, faggot, are you being serious right now? You're going to say that our society is a homophobic dumpster fire? Our society literally puts faggots on a pedestal and worships them like they're God.
Wait, hold on. Press pause. Press pause. As she's dropping that F-bomb every 2 seconds, she's also arguing that you're trying to say we live in a homophobic society. It's like, what?
No, it's really like...
you can't put that word on Twitch. I'm gonna have to delete my VOD. As anyone else who's on Twitch right now, turn your VODs off. Or
Oh, really?
you can't play that on Twitch. Yeah, that one's a hard.
Okay, I'll delete my VOD too. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I assumed, but I didn't.
Well, then I will not
think
continue this because I assume it just gets worse.
No. I got 2 things to say about her though. Leave this image up. One, I really like that she chose the royal blue to complement the orange in her skin. I think that really helped bring that out. And number 2, she's kind of acting like one of those, like, like in middle school, there would be the kid that learned like some new curse word and they couldn't stop saying it, but they didn't really contextually understand its impact. That's kind of what she sounds like. I know she understands what the F slur means, but the way she says it sounds like she has no fucking idea what it actually means. Like, she's like, oh, this will piss people off. I can just say this and sprinkle it in.
Yeah.
People are so evil. These people are so ass.
But the response to criticism from the organization itself is almost more unhinged than her. So I'm going to post the link here for David to share if you all want to watch it. This one does not have slurs. I pre-watched it. But this is the official response, I'm assuming, from criticism, even from Republicans. Brad Palumbo, Washington Examiner, he's a gay conservative. He wrote an article denouncing this. So there were like legit questions like, hey, this is the only outreach that we have to gay people and trans people. And this is the response here that you're going to see. It's another ambassador who I think is just like a meme character. And this is what they think of gay people.
Well.
Oh, sorry. It's not. I didn't put it up. Here we go.
This is Steve from Outspoken USA. I'm your Director of Liberal Outreach. Today, I would like to give a gratitude post to journalist Kyle Mantila of Right Wing Watch for his impeccable skills at journalism in uncovering Isabella Riley Moody, who is a known homophobe. She has just been appointed an ambassador for Outspoken USA. I have no idea how she slipped through the cracks, but I want to thank you so much, Kyle, for uncovering this dirt. I'm going to use my influence to do whatever I can to boot this homophobe out of our ranks. Thank you so much.
Jesus.
Like that's their response. Like, how can you take them seriously? And I watched a couple of the ambassador videos. Another one of the ambassadors was like, my goal here is to make sure that we crush this old myth that Republicans don't like gay people. It's like, you are the class of 2023 with somebody who is openly homophobic. Like, what are they? I don't even know how to process this. Like, are they doing this for attention? Are they doing this just for shock? It's so unhinged. And it's not like the log cabin Republicans have ever been taken seriously by anyone. Like, they've been marginalized by Republicans as they try to like pretend as if the party is accepting. Like, they've been marginalized at CPAC and have struggled to get booths. So it's not like they were ever taken seriously, but it's so bizarre, so like beyond parody that I don't even have words. Yeah, it's like Jin in David's chat says it feels like a psyop. It's very weird.
I don't even know what to say to that, honestly.
Yeah. I'm just lost.
I didn't know this was a thing.
This is a whole world I didn't know existed.
I've followed the log cabin Republicans for a very long time because they are, like, I'll be honest, they're lol cows, but they've always tried to be like very serious and very adamant about, no, the Republican Party is a place for LGBTQ plus people. They're welcoming, don't buy the mainstream media narrative. But like, they've just gone full Joker mode at this point in time. And I think it's a really funny phenomenon to watch and a little bit sad as well, because like the people affiliated with it are self-loathing. Like they do hate themselves. They're trying to look for a place in the GOP that obviously doesn't want them. But like this move here is so bizarre.
Right. I mean, the whole role of the log cabin Republicans was to whitewash how, the right thinks of gays and lesbians. And I'm not even going to go down the line of the rest of the LGBTQ people because they never pretended even to care about them. It was only to convince gays and lesbians that the Republican Party. Yeah. And there was never a place for it, but now it's super obvious as every gay or lesbian, anyone LGBTQ is a groomer and a pedophile to the right wing. So log cabin Republicans got to play game. They got to play ball game now. That they're the good ones. They're the good gays in the Republican Party. There's and this is what they got to do basically to try to do that.
Yeah. Last thing that I'll say about this is I'm so sad that they didn't recruit Dave Rubin. He literally would have been like just perfect for this group. Like he would have fit right in because their website is like a fake news. Not fake news, but it's like it's a bullshit like news sensationalist thing, and it's all just articles of them shitting on gay people and trans people for being like too woke or bullying. It's insane to me. It's insane.
I got 3 more clips.
Go ahead, let's do this.
I'm just all right. You want to? All right.
Let's do it. I'm done processing this log cabin shit.
This next one is a Shapiro hit right here. he made some comments this week about
Oh.
the living wage.
Ah, yes. There's
That
no
are
such thing.
It's a banger.
Interesting. Oh, dude, I keep forgetting. Okay, it's not auto adding like it did last week. That's why. There we go.
Well, I mean, first of all, the wage to cost of living gap would not exist in the absence of regulation and subsidy, at least not nearly as much. The fact of the matter is that one of the reasons you have housing shortages in blue areas is because of development restrictions that are largely created by the left. The reason that you have massive inflation right now is, again, because of left-wing financial policy.
What?
It tends to be that wages...
Before we even get to the wage part, a left-wing housing policy is guaranteed housing for all, is public housing. That's not, there is no guaranteed housing for all in America. The idea that the left is the reason why people are homeless, why there's a lack of housing for people, affordable housing, is completely ridiculous. You can blame both parties, of course, but the Democratic Party is not the left. But that's how they throw everyone into the same bucket. But anyways.
It tends to be that wages move in tandem with costs, generally speaking, because, again, there is no such thing as a non-living wage. Nobody dies on their wage. That is not a thing.
What? Nobody dies on their wage. Oh my god.
Completely insane.
This is honestly every week. The real issue is that one side operates where you literally have to have facts. You have to site check. You have to this. You cannot just spew things off at the mouth. And the other side just fucking... What on earth would no one die?
They lie with impunity. And
there's working homeless. There's people who are homeless and live in their cars. There's people
the average American lives check to check. Okay, yep. The average American is one missed fucking check away from shit erupting from underneath them. The majority of what is debt in this country is medical debt. People quite literally do in fact die on their wages or lack thereof. Like it's an absurdity. And for these people to sit up with all the money that they make, it's actually sick. It's wickedness. Like even to their own audiences, it's wickedness to sit up there with the kind of money that Ben Shapiro fucking makes. To sit up there and say that and put that out there. And then for whatever reason, these fucking idiots, because they want to galvanize around the bigotry of it all, around the silent pretext about what it's really around, they allow for these people to come out and spew and support policies that really keep all of us broke. Because it's not just, again, capitalism, class solidarity, and the lack thereof, right? It affects everybody. The average American is struggling across racial lines. Lying ass, my God. All right, play him.
Just gonna finish. I'm not even sure what else is left here, but let's see.
Is why when people say living wage, the question is, well, what do you mean by a non-living wage? Do you just mean a wage that you don't think is high enough? And for what job? And what does the market look like? Well, I mean, first of all, the wage to cost.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just this is the kind of thing where, I mean, he spews obvious bullshit every week, and I think that the running theme here is that these people maintain their positions, maintain their jobs, maintain their salaries, despite all of that, or not really despite, because of that. Like they are in their position to lie to people. That's why they are there. And billionaires, they're millionaires being paid by billionaires to lie to working class people, and they do this on a regular basis.
As of 5 days ago, it says Ben Shapiro's net worth. Ben Shapiro is 39 years old. Has a salary of $3 million and a net worth of $48 million. This hobbit sits on his fucking ass for a living and runs his mouth. And he has a $48 million net worth. That person is going to sit there and tell you
it's probably
that whatever you're doing, depending on what you're doing, whether or not he respects it, your working class labor, whatever it is, or you do not deserve a wage where you could somebody making millions of dollars to run their mouth gets to tell, it's perfectly acceptable that there's a wealth of people in this country living beneath the poverty line, that there's a wealth of homeless people, that the majority of Americans are living check to check. It's sick. Like it shouldn't even be allowed. It's sick. It should be called out as an egregious bias that can't even work. Like you can't say that shit in good faith. Like how much they paying you to sit on your ass here?
And he
You
pretends
don't even dance.
He does it while pretending to stand up for working class people, railing against like Hollywood elites, for example. Guess who his parents are? Hollywood elites. His mom was a TV executive, his dad a composer in Hollywood.
They just
to
offered
Hollywood
Steven
elites,
Crowder
and
like
he
50 million.
rails against the Hollywood elites.
Like,
Pretends
that's
to be
the same-
working class, or not working class, but pretends to fight for the working class.
It's the exact
all
same
just a
TV
complete
network,
ruse.
or I guess online studio that just offered Steven Crowder $50 million. And yeah, spread over 4 years. But like, that's just obscene cash, you know? That's like what news hosts get to say that kind of shit.
That's more than Anderson Cooper makes at CNN.
That's fucked.
Per year.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Right-wing money goes very, very far.
They have so much unlimited resources. This is why their shits. This is why they top the Facebook video charts every week, because they pay for a shit ton of advertisements. They push their videos up in the feed because they pay for that to happen. And every week, if you see like there's like Facebook video rankings every week, Ben Shapiro is up near the top, if not at the top, every single week, because they have unlimited resources to push this garbage out there. And this is why Facebook in particular, because it's so easily gamed. This is why people on Facebook are so fucking stupid, because this is the shit being pushed to their feed on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Sorry, Facebook audience, people watching.
We love you all, but you're not like the rest. No, it's so frustrating to me that like people who watch this, who are fans of Ben Shapiro, I mean, like most people are not rich. Most people are not millionaires. So how do you not have this like visceral response? Or he's gaslighting you. He's telling you that, you know, you're getting paid fairly and whatnot, where he's sitting on his iron throne, rich. Like you should see that and never watch him again, be turned off by it. But people will come back and eat it up.
They don't care about, because that's the thing, right? You, by galvanizing, what they're rallied around is the pretext, right? What it's really around. That's what all this whiteness, that's what all this woke is, all these culture wars, all these different things. But that's what they're really about. They bought into the idea. That's why, it's not allowed. You're not going to hear any mainstream critiques of capitalism. You're not going to hear anything about class solidarity, because what they need to be convinced of is that what it really is all these marginalized others and here trying to take from you, and they're trying to get more, and they're bleeding this thing. That's why you don't have, and you're not getting what you rightfully deserve. And that's what they're really rallied around. What he's really saying is these broke ass niggas who don't deserve no more than they're getting want more, and we won't fucking stand for it, because they are not like you hardworking, good Americans. That's what he's really saying. That's what they're galvanized around. The rest of that is just pretext.
Yeah, they don't feel like he's talking to them. Yeah. You know, he's talking about the people who are a lower caste than them, because, you know, a lot of people, like, there's this whole trope that Americans feel like they are just, I don't know what the saying was, like, they're gonna be a billionaire someday. They're just like currently humiliated billionaires, and one day they'll be a billionaire. So they don't want to be too hard on billionaires, when it's like, no, I'm sorry, but you're never going to be a billionaire. You're not going to be a millionaire. Like, in order for you to become a billionaire, like statistically, you're more likely to get bit by a shark or struck by lightning twice. So it's not going to happen. But because of this hope, this whole American dream, which is capitalist propaganda, like, this is why people believe the bullshit. It's sad.
All I hear you saying, Mike, is that there's a chance.
There's a chance.
It's all about the chance. Now, will you sell your friends out for the chance is the question. And your colleagues.
No.
Why did you all look so sly just then?
Blair, take that lull, jump in. Last
all right. Oh God, I don't know how to change the subject. I
even helped you.
I know you did, and I still fucked it up. Shoot, I don't know. I mean, I've been looking at Colorado news. Obviously, how yesterday there was multiple warnings of active school shooters at multiple campuses. I know that's not very funny news or anything, but just that this shit keeps happening, and it's getting really old. It's kind of scary, because yesterday was supposed to be this big snowstorm and everything, and you know, have these kids going to school and then having to evacuate the school during a snowstorm is kind of shitty.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So bad segue, but here we are.
News about guns is so, like that kind of shit is so it's so tough now, because we're yelling into a void, because once, you know, how old were they? Like the
these
ones
were
in
high schoolers for yesterday. Yeah.
So like, you know, we've had kids who are like, what, 5 years old get killed in a school shoot. Like, once that happened and nothing was done, you know,
it was over. The conversation kind of ended, because it doesn't matter what we say. It's very clear that our voices mean nothing to the small group of individuals who could make change.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, why even rehash the same argument where Republicans will say, "Oh, it's mental health," and then not even do anything to increase mental health funding. Oh,
They
maybe
voted against.
video games.
There was a recent vote where Republicans voted against mental health funding in schools.
Oh, right.
Pretty much unanimously too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the shit is it's so obvious, it's so out there, and no one really gives a fuck. It's really
I don't think things are going to get any better until America starts contending with the Republicans and what they really are, and stop dealing with them like they're a legitimate party in opposition. Because what you have is a bunch of legitimized like fascists working against everything that is supposed to be united government or anything. You see that. You see what the foolishness that Marjorie Taylor Greene is tweeting and stuff. Oh,
right.
Separate places like that. They're like, what points do we contend with what is really happening? Like, this is a country, like, it's not like war and civil war are things that this country doesn't know. It shouldn't be so like, you know, out of the realm of possibility. But let's look at what we're really dealing with. What we're really dealing with is a party of fascists that actively want no parts of any level of equality. They only see who they care about as one tiny aspect of the population and fuck everybody else. They are on a concerted effort. They're putting their money and all of their power behind doing everything that they can to strip groups and entire people full of rights. I think the problem is we keep talking about them like they are just somebody, like they are just a regular opponent, as opposed to a literal fucking like enemy of unity, son. That's what they are. Like, that's what they are at this point. Like, and they be saying as much in plain sight. They literally be like, fuck your election, fuck how it's supposed to go. No, fuck a peaceful transfer party. And because they do things in such silly, stupid, fucking goofy, and they intentionally do it that way. They have these big stupid characters. They do things that, you know, are easy to mock and stuff like that, because then it's easy to dismiss it and downplay it. But let's not forget, these are motherfuckers who stormed the Capitol. These are people who fucking have packed your fucking Supreme Court and are out there stripping your fucking rights. These are people who are banning your fucking books all over the country. These are literally textbook fascists. Like, I don't know what else they got to do for us to realize we're in the book 1984. I think that's what needs to happen. We got to stop. They're wicked. They're not just regular politicians. It's not a difference in ideology. Like, they are against. They are literally, they consider everybody else an enemy, and they make it very much so clear. They don't even try to pretend. So,
not to mention like the gerrymandering, like they're the ones that are rigging elections to win elections.
Yes.
Like, this is like that alone, and that's been going on for years. That alone should have been the giveaway, like the start, at least the starting point for us all to acknowledge that this is the anti-democratic party. Like, they are anti-democracy.
Yeah.
And you can't have people like that and not and treat them as, you know, as you said, just like the opposition party. They're not the opposition party. They are anti-democracy, and this is how they keep winning.
If they were in another country, if we were analyzing another country and there was a party operating like this, we would be talking about them like a rogue, like the government has already dissolved from what it's supposed to be. They are no longer and they stopped a while back. That's the crazy thing. They stopped operating within any level of like feigned civility rules, hiding it or anything. It's just out in the fucking open now. The shit that they're doing is absurd, and we see it just plain as day.
Well, here's a question for y'all. No right or wrong answers here. Where do you think we're actually going? Because, you know, you look at history, right? And I'm not the first person to make this comparison, but you guys already know where I'm going. Where are we actually going? What do you guys actually see happening based on what you guys look at, what you guys cover? Where do you actually see this ending?
I see a potential second civil war of the United States to be a disaster of such momentous proportions for not only the people who live in the United States, but the world writ large. So much so that our own security apparatus in Canada has it as a primary concern that they're worried about, as do other countries. I can't speak for Mexico, but it's definitely something that the rest of the world does not want to see. I don't think people realize that the people who are heavily armed in the United States happen to be far-right militias. The ones who happen to have training with ex-police and ex-military, far-right militias. The amount of cops in the United States that would line up with far-right militias would be devastating. You would have a situation in which the federal army would have to be attacking. Like, it would be a fucked up disaster. It needs to be avoided at all costs. It's not something that, like, when pundits are like, Tim Pool has been begging for a civil war his whole life. I don't know if he thinks he'll become a superhero, but it's like, it would be no joke. It would be no laughing matter. It would be unbelievable amounts of death and carnage and destabilization and yeah, of a very populous country, you know.
And yet you recognize that it seems very much so on the playboard, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And at the same time, it's like not to say like I'm calling for it, but it seems like a big event is almost necessary for there to be any shift at all, because how else are things going to turn around if there isn't some kind of crescendo like that, where there's this coming together, like something massive has to change or happen for there to be some actual changes.
Well, and part of the reason why I feel so frustrated is because I agree with that. Like, I think that something big has to happen or will happen, like a civil war or democracy completely collapsing. But like, there are avenues out. And I felt like any chance that we had to take the off ramp and avoid that, we avoided it. Right. And so like one was getting somebody like Bernie Sanders in office who would kind of do like a similar thing to FDR potentially. I'm not like, I don't know if Bernie would be successful in that regard, but like trying to save capitalism from itself by doing policies that benefit people. Because I think that a lot of the problems stem from people being so desperate and distraught that they're looking for answers. And when you're looking for answers, you are more susceptible to radicalization, a demagogue coming along. And so it's easy to accept more scapegoats. It's trans people, it's immigrants. But if you were to change the situation economically speaking, I think that would help. Like, that's not good. It's not going to get rid of racism and transphobia. That's not what I want to say. But like, if Democrats were to make an effort to reshape the country and like change, basically have like a political realignment, so that way politics isn't so hyper capitalistic and commodified, I think that could have an effect. But at the same time, like, even if somebody came along like that wasn't Bernie, and maybe too late, because I feel like we're kind of like past the Rubicon in a sense.
Democrats cannot reshape the country to a vision that they don't believe in. Democrats are not as fundamentally removed from the other side, and that's the important thing we need to recognize, right? We're looking at they're making Cop City right now in Atlanta. Let's keep it real, right? Yeah. I live in New York City. This is a place that full Democratic stronghold, and all the Rikers, all the things that we deal with. Yep. That's what's happening. That's what's happening here. I don't think we're going to see that from them, because they're a part of it. I don't think it's because what it really is I don't think it's that people are being tricked into something. Yes, there's some level of that in the world, but let's keep it real. The team with the home court advantage is who's up. The reason why they have so much more money, they have so much more power, is because they always fucking had it. All they are doing, that's what I keep saying every week, everything that they're doing is not new. They are just reframing, rebranding, restructuring the same old arguments. The reason why, they're so successful at it, they have the stronghold, is because this has been what the country was built on. It's not the country. The country didn't have some like ugly shift and turn from what its ideals are. The country is just it's just carrying out what the country's been doing. And the reality is, the Democrats and the Republicans, look at who are actually in power, and not just everybody who has to in the nation, the billions of people who live in a country, and then they have to choose between in this two-party system. So, you think of a whole lot, but no, look at who's actually in power in this country, and what they want and what they believe in, and who has power and what groups have power. Do you think they are fundamentally unaligned with what it looks like in this world, in this country? Brother, no.
Yeah.
It's going as it's always been going.
Yeah, we're headed in one direction, and it doesn't look very good. And yeah, I think that's perfectly put. Democrats, they've had the opportunity. They are capitalists. That's the thing. It's like both parties are neoliberal. Both parties, at the end of the day, they serve corporate America, and our system has been transformed to be even more commodified than it was at the start. I mean, even elections are now commodified ventures. And this isn't necessarily a new phenomenon. People look to Citizens United, but back in the 70s with Buckley v. Vallejo, that's when our elections started to get commodified. So there was a 2014 Princeton University study that I always reference, where they looked at policy outcomes, and whatever the elites and special interests want, that becomes law. But average Americans have a statistically non-significant impact on policy outcomes, because we're not who the politicians are there to serve. We may elect them, we may vote, so we're democratic in that sense, but ultimately when it comes to governance, we're an afterthought. If even saying we're an afterthought would be polite. The government doesn't, both parties are terrible. One party's better than the other. I'll never say that they're equal.
Right.
But ultimately Democrats, they refuse to do what is necessary to fundamentally reshape the country. So that's what, like, in a way, that's how you see fascism arise. That's how you see authoritarianism arise. It's not, and like, just to kind of move away from America, it's not just an American phenomenon where like you see weak liberals enabling fascism. If you look to Turkey, the weak liberals enabled Erdogan's rise, didn't, compete enough. Pre-Bolsonaro, the Liberal Party without Lula was
what about
very,
Israel
very
right now?
weak.
It's led by a far-right authoritarian regime, one that is like openly asking for like the execution of homosexuals and things like that. And you're like, this is pretty intense, but we're not criticizing it in the same way we do a lot of other countries that are doing pretty much apartheid states.
It's like the fascist movement is international now. That's the thing, and it was always going to be the product of global capitalism, because ultimately, if you take all the resources and you just like concentrate it towards the top, and people get desperate and they starve, and like that just creates social unrest. So like that, in addition to all the underlying factors and the systemic factors and the issues that were there from the founding of our country and other countries, it all just compounds, and eventually the dam bursts. And we're kind of to that moment where we're waiting to see the dam burst. What is that going to look like? Nobody really knows. But I see some lefties talk about how, oh, well, nothing's going to happen. We need a revolution. It's like, see, the problem with that is, do you think we're closer to a socialist revolution or a fascist authoritarian revolution? I think we're closer to the latter. So that scares me. So it's like, I don't know what the answer is. I think that the one source of hopium is worker rights and unionization. I think that really is a force for good. But ultimately,
and also revolution, George Jackson talks about this a lot in his books, and so does Huey Newton. Revolution isn't necessarily like, people talk about revolution as a spontaneous outburst that is just disorganized and chaos in its way, like you're gonna good faith and bless your way into a revolution, right? But a revolution would have to be something that would be organized, and it would be organized by revolutionaries. At the end of the day, you have to have an honest conversation about what your role is in a movement and what you are able and capable to do. And if you're not that, shut the fuck up. The reality is, the rest of the average person is not a fucking revolutionary. If you're tweeting about it, if you're tweeting about how we need a revolution, chances are you're not the person that is ready to give your life or go become a political prisoner
or has been training for a revolution. It's hitting the militia. No, you're tweeting from your California parents' basement and with the communist symbol.
Exactly. You are a person that is not a part trying to do any revolution, and you are commenting to other people like us who are also not revolutionaries. Meanwhile, there are people go make a decision, figure out who you are. I honestly, like I always say, I don't appreciate when people give me don't give me those kind of flowers. There are people who really, I know, I read from them that George Jackson, jail, these people die in jail. They are political prisoners. They go and they really commit their life to that. They're really thinking about guerrilla warfare. They're really trying to come up with strategy. They're really trying to figure out how they could arm a community and do all these things. That's not me. That's not me. And that's likely not fucking you if you're talking to me about it. So unless you're getting ready to do some revolutionary shit, but you shut the fuck up and maybe let's figure out some other stuff in between and maybe a more gradual process that works for you, right? Because it'll be people like that who don't want to have conversations about how you get to a road to abolition or something like that, but they just want to say revolution and they want to say abolition now. Well, you have to either two things. Either you're the person that is prepared to go get up and be the spontaneous person and go do the revolution and go put your life on the back, or you need to go be a part of some kind of communal effort to work us towards that. It's got to be two. But the other, just the litmus talking, just the purity test of, oh, we need a big thing. Yeah, okay. Are you doing? Yeah, we need a lot of big shit to happen. People are still waiting on Jesus to come back. That's a real thing. You any other ideas? Any other ideas, my guy?
True. True.
And to add some hope, I mean, we talked about Brazil and Bolsonaro. Lula ended up winning, right? So like there is, like, not to say that everything's perfect now in Brazil, but there's always the potential for things to turn around. And yes, gradual turnaround. Yes, it's politics. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, there's issues, but there is, just because shit is terrible now and the direction things are going, it looks like it's going to keep getting worse. There's always the potential for something surprising to happen where there is a shift that we didn't see coming. And oftentimes big changes we don't see coming, and they could be bad. They could be good. So, the history isn't written in stone. Things can definitely change, but it does take a different sort of, in the U.S., it takes a different sort of a Democratic Party to do it, because the current one with the current leadership they're not capable of any of the change necessary. But you have, a leader come out of nowhere, replace that and change things from the top down. Things can happen.
The thing I was thinking the other day, which was just kind of a weird aspect of history, is that the war on drugs in the United States, it's something that was sold as we need more punitive measures. And it doesn't matter if it's Democrats or Republicans, they're consistently passing harsher and more draconian drug laws over and over and over again. And it was sold as a war when that's a medical crisis. It should have been a medical crisis from the very start. And now I think it's gotten to such a point where this could be a winnable battle. Like libertarians, some people on the right, most of the people on the left are all at this kind of point being like, this is ridiculous, right? We're still doing that war on drugs for like personal possession, for personal use of things. This has a lot of racist origins. It seems like it's disproportionately affecting, minorities and incarcerating them, even though white people, black people, they use drugs at the exact same rate around the same numbers, right? So I think that could be an angle that might have a lot more teeth, that could have huge effects, like massive effects all the way from the top on down, if the US can start to like dismantle the war on drugs. Because it's a global war on drugs too, that like obviously the rest of the world follows your lead.
And why? And which country is in that global war on drugs? What color people? Who be really almost like it's on purpose.
South and Central
like they
America.
they wouldn't dismantle that. Like, they're like,
yeah.
They're like a perfectly well working machine I created. This is my baby. This is Model A. The American government is real trifling. Like, America really be out here like destabilizing whole countries, and then like when the people come there to try to migrate, be like, what the fuck you doing here?
Do not come. Do not come.
America
Don't
really
come.
goes to people's
Do not
countries.
On that note, did you see the new rule proposed by Biden's administration?
What's that?
So basically, it's another it's a cap on asylum seekers, specifically from countries like Venezuela, Nicaragua, Haiti, and whatnot. And this it's a ban on asylum that looks very, very similar to the Trump asylum ban that was designed by Stephen Miller.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. As somebody who is an immigrant in America, very much so lives at the mercy of USCIS. I've been telling people for this from jump. Americans do not know shit about how to immigrate. Like even the lawyers, goddammit, Americans don't know shit about their immigration system. They talk about immigrants till they blue in the face, undocumented this, illegals this, nonsense. Meanwhile, the actual majority of undocumented immigrants in America are visa overstays because we have a ridiculous fucking immigration system, and it's ass on both. I've been in America for 15 fucking years. I came here when I was 14, just about to turn 15. I'm turning 30 in July. I don't even have a fucking green card. Because you know why? Because I'm only just now even becoming, you know what I had to do? Okay, I had to become a public figure to become even in the realm of being able to apply for something. So no, the Democrats are just as fucking bad. They're like just as bad. The level of racism, and don't get me started. It's very specific. Like people have no idea how like clearly racist it is. It's like certain countries you will just be ineligible. Oh, you're from this country? Oh, you're from the Bahamas? You're from these black countries or whatever? Nope. But you're from Canada, you're from Australia? Special, literal special visa, special thing, special deal. Oh, you're good from the white country. They literally do that. Oh, certain countries, India has like a fucking 10-year backlog. Like it literally varies. We're in different preference groups. Certain countries that completely just eliminate no criteria other than that black ass country. No, fuck that. It's not a coincidence. You don't hear that. You don't hear them. Where's the quote on Australia? Where's the quote on Britain and Canada? No. Listen, don't get me started. Do not get me started because that almost blew my high to come up here and tell y'all, because I literally think about all the years of my life I would never get back from U.S. immigration, pulling you incredibly hard. It's unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. Ungoddamn believable what you have to do to be able to stay in this country lawfully. Unnavigable, fucked up, stupid ass fucking system.
And then Republicans and pundits think
and then
that it's
people
like,
say shit like, why don't you just apply for citizenship? Oh, you can pass the test. I'd apply if I could. You can't apply. You can't fucking apply. Yo, do y'all know when I got denied for a visa in 2019? They told me I meet the standards of an extraordinary alien, an extraordinary alien with an advanced degree, with a profession as a lawyer that is of substantial merit, but my desire to represent the poor and indigent is not of national interest to the United States of America. So denied, bitch. Like, as a public listen, y'all don't know.
Wow.
Y'all don't know. U.S. immigration, tough. Yes, the Democrats are just as bad, just as fucking bad, just as goddamn bad. I'm just as bad. It's just like I say. That's why I keep saying what it is. The real disagreement between the good whites and the bad whites is how they present. I'm telling you, that's what it is. The real problem they have is that the Republicans are out here just acting a goddamn fool, not hiding it, not doing no nice theatrics. You're supposed to make it cute. You notice why in Get Out, they're all liberals, right? They're all Democrats. They're all Democrats in Get Out. They're all fucking Democrats. But, you know, they do all their wicked shit palatably. That's the real problem. That's the real problem is why are you parading these pictures at the border? Why are you, showing it to the people? Why are you creating a fanfare around it? You were supposed to do all this wicked shit quietly in the night and then just spread misinformation and propaganda about immigration in general so that the whole country is misinformed in general to have this whole fucked up idea that's real xenophobic. That's what they want it to be. Child, don't get me started. And Ryan.
Well, that was a beautiful rant, by the way. But like, what's so fucked up is that no matter what, like the Biden administration has been as ruthless to immigrants as Trump, but Republicans still say that he has open borders. Like when Biden came in, the borders just opened up like that. It's such bullshit because like I think that even Ronald Reagan, like he gave amnesty to millions of immigrants. Today he would be too far left for the Democratic Party, which just shows you like how far this conversation has moved to the right.
Fucking Melania Trump was a visa overstay. Like let's start there. Like yes, a visa overstay who was working. Do you know how infuriating that is to see, like how infuriating that is? Because it just makes it so clear what it always is about, and it really just is about race, and that's all it's ever about. Because you know what it is to watch this man. You have all this xenophobia and all this anti-immigrant message dispute. Meanwhile, your wife is an immigrant. Your wife is somebody who violated the terms of what it is, who very much so would fall into your undocumented, which she's a visa overstay, all of this. She's working, she's doing all these things, but it's not a problem, and it's not a problem for anybody in the base. And this person is going to sit up there because what it really is keep black and brown immigrants. That's all it's really about. It's infuriating, son. Like that they lie. It's the gas. Like I say, they practice the politics of gaslighting. They pretend like, oh, it's all this and do it this. And also something I need for people to generally understand about immigration. Nobody wants to be in a country as a second-class citizen. Nobody. There is nobody that has the ability to apply to become a citizen or to have a work visa or a green card or these things the lawful way, and they are just choosing not to do it. They are literally not eligible. That is what America's immigration system. Not only one have they created an immigration system that mirrors a criminal system that doesn't need to. Because I know it's hard to think about it because that's all you ever see is a world where they detain people and that doesn't make sense. Why are people becoming criminalized based on what should just be this is paperwork. This is immigration stuff. It doesn't have to be a criminal situation, but they make it that, and they make it that for specific populations because you ain't never seen no bunch of Italians at the border or being in no detention images or blah 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 or heard about a large what you don't hear that. You don't hear that. But you hear it, but whenever you see these pictures, they can't wait to show all these pictures of the Haitians being chased on horseback and being whipped and all kind of Hispanic people in cages and stuff, because that's what it really, really is about is keeping these specific populations out. And meanwhile, they up there talking mess. And to Dark Stars, girl, take a breath. No. There, I'm done.
To bolster what you're saying, so I'm not sure what percentage of undocumented immigrants this counts for, but there's approximately 60,000 Canadians currently living undocumented in the U.S. Like, there's you know what I mean? There's very little discussion about that, interestingly. No wall on the border of Canada to keep the Canadians out. It's a very focused discussion.
Yeah, no, very, very much so. And they paint it as though people are just choosing, like people just don't want to do it the legal way, you know. And Americans really think that, because when there have been times where, like I said, in 2019, that's the roughest my immigration situation has ever been. And I remember like lawyers and people I know, they're like, oh no, but you're fine. Like you're the kind that they want. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like you think it in your mind because you really believe in the foolishness. Oh, you think, because you're a lawyer or whatever it is. No, if you come to America on an F1, that's what people don't realize. You come on an F1 international student visa, this is all you get. You get 1 year. You're entitled to an OPT that you can work. And if you can't get a job that can sponsor you for a green card, which I want you to know right now is a needle in a haystack. That is hard to do. You are gone. You are out of there. You have no path. It doesn't matter how long you were there, or you think, this person has been there for a long time, or they blend in, or you think that they're a good immigrant. If they have no path, they have no options. They can't do nothing. And all they have a million special carve-outs for white countries, all kinds of different things to make it easy and facilitate on them, like literally different visa categories that exist solely for them. And then other people don't have it at all. And then you paint a narrative. And also, we don't talk about how expensive the immigration system is. The costs associated with immigration applications and all these things are astronomical. You don't get them back. That's one. Two, what happens is if you apply, let's say you have OPT, or you have a work permit, or you have a green card, and you apply to try to renew it, or you apply for something. Once you apply for the thing, you're not allowed to. Once your thing expires, you can't work, right? You can't work and earn money until this thing gets approved. But you're not allowed to go to your own country. Go back to your own country because they will consider your application abandoned, get rid of it, keep the money, but you can't stay in the country and afford to be here and apply for those things. You see how all these different ways is set up to make it impossible. And then on top of that, just legally navigating. I'm an attorney who has been looking at my immigration situation since I was 14, and it's impossible. The average person, the things that I will miss or make a mistake on or something like this, the average person can't navigate that. They can't afford it. It costs so much money. Just to give you an idea, my company now, in the interest of transparency, so y'all can understand just how inaccessible it is. Been here for 15 years. Y'all see the career I had to make for myself to even make it possible that someone could try to sponsor me to try to get me a green card. The immigration fees are $33,000 to hire attorneys to do that. Yeah, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. How are you gonna do that? How's the average person gonna do that? Who's gonna do that for them? It's an impossibly. And then even with the getting married, right? People will be like, just get married for citizenship. One, they don't think about how dehumanizing that is to immigrants, right? You live in a world where everybody could think marriage is so important. You live in a country where people fighting for the rights to get married and all these different things, but fuck, immigrants can't want to have love or anything. That's one. Two, you never think about the angle of what it is to sacrifice that you could never love anybody from your own country. Like if I know that the only way that I will ever be able to become a citizen in this country is to do it through marriage, even if I make the executive decision that I'll never be someone I get married for citizenship, because that's already too much too much autonomy I'm giving to the US government that already controls me. But even if I do it, even if I go in, I go and do it, you're not entitled to. It takes 3 to 5 years. You have to apply for 3 to 5 years before you can even apply for citizenship. And it puts all of this in the hands of this other person. But y'all don't know. Immigration is something that's literally dictated my everyday life. Like it is an incredible stress. Like you come to a place like New York City and you're not allowed, you're a foreigner like myself, you're an international visa. There is an understanding that you don't have a U.S. guarantor. You don't have anything like that. It is customary in New York City that they charge people on international student visas. You have to pay like 6 months rent up front to be able to live somewhere. Imagine how you're going to have the money for that. Your parents have to be able to show a certain amount of financial support or whatever for you to even get a student visa. So if your parents don't have it, even if you get a scholarship. So I got a full scholarship to law school, but in order for me to get a school visa, my parents still need to be able to show that they could pay that entire tuition 4 times over at one given time for you to be able to get a visa. Even though you don't have to, they do so many things, so many hurdles, and make it impossible for you to navigate the situation. And then people think, why don't you just do this thing?
Just do it legally, yeah. Do through the
you bet you can. Like I've literally
one piece of paper.
People have literally tweeted at me like that, like literally like it's just laziness at that point. Why she just doesn't go? It's just lazy.
Actually,
the
internet sometimes. I
don't even talk about immigration half as much because it is incredibly painful because it's the only marginalized group I wish I couldn't be a part of. Like I'd come back to life black every time. I'd be black, I'd be a woman, I'd be all that shit, but I would not be a fucking immigrant. It's the worst. It's the worst experience. Do you know what it is? Think about all the career opportunities I have. Y'all know I can never accept the money. Until I get a green card and the links I have to go to, I have to just turn down the money. So every time you see me do an opportunity that looks at people think, so they hate you for all the things that make you visible, thinking that you have all the money and all of this. No, I do everything for free 99, because the U.S. government will be like, get out. How dare, who told you? Who fucking told you could do no shit? Are you making money, bitch? So, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I just wanted.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
It's ruthless.
Yeah, y'all got. That's the trials and tribulations for my immigration trauma. Thank y'all for operating as my therapist tonight. Y'all have really done the
No,
circle.
that was.
We should talk more about this. This is like you have to have that perspective. It's informative for people. I think to hear that.
Yeah, because people really don't think about this. Like they don't think how difficult it is to become a citizen. It's just, well, that's their problem. They should have came here legally. Like, and this isn't just like me making a caricature of like the right wing. Like liberals say this shit too. Like everyone says this shit.
No,
There's like
everyone.
a mass ignorance here to it.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, everybody says that, and it's because they don't know. Like honestly, my friend, like they just don't know. They're not given that information everywhere. Even when you look in media, it's portrayed as though you just need to go take a test, and you're just not taking this test or whatever. So if you're constantly being fed that, you're fed this idea that there are good immigrants who, all the good immigrants are good. They went and applied, and these bad immigrants just don't want to be bothered putting in the paperwork. Then people they believe that, especially when they're thinking of a lot of the times too. The people they're thinking of their family member from times before who came generation. Oh, they came and they just did the thing and blah blah blah. And I'm like, it does not work like that. But you have to see it in application. Like I have friends, a lot of friends, even attorneys who they had to literally be my friend for years and watch me go through my immigration struggle to be like, shit. Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. Like when my friends actually saw my shit get denied, that's when they realized I got denied. Just to give you an idea of the experience, when I got denied, and I had already at this point I had managed to get like a different visa, but once you get denied on that one, you gotta go. You have to go to the embassy. It's a whole thing. Like so I get there. I'm walking home from Blink Fitness, literally, and I get the email that U.S. has issued a decision. It's a denial, and I have to leave the country. Literally leave the country. The next day you have to leave because once you get denied, you're on a countdown, and if you stay for a certain amount of time, you're blacklisted for a certain. And then, and just to give you an idea how stressful that is, you have to go, even when you're approved, like let's say you apply for a visa and you're approved, you get the approval notice, you still have to go to the embassy and do an interview and basically convince them another time, and they can deny you for whatever reason, whatever person at the thing. And to give you, when I go, so that is the most, I can't tell you how stressful that is. It's 15 years of that. And then you go, this last time when I went to go get my visa, this lady is this old Bahamian lady in front of me who had been living in the U.S. for a long time. She had a green card and she didn't understand the immigration rules or whatever it is. She thought she had to come to the embassy in order to apply. They tell her she needed to do it this time or not this time or come in person. Either way, they tell her no, she can't get it and she can't go back into the U.S. The woman has lived. This is an old lady who has lived in the U.S. for in Florida for 30 years, has a home there, dog there, and they're like. So, whoop. Yep. And that's the shit that you're in there behind this person getting ready to have a stroke because that's what it is. And I've experienced so many other friends and so many Bahamians and so many other people that have come to the US for a certain period of time and really struggled to try to be here to stay. It's an impossible journey. I have 5 sisters. I have 5 siblings, and my sister have 3 sisters that are just as intelligent, just as decorated and all these different things. My sister Dawn, who's my doctor equivalent, couldn't go to U.S. med school because it's impossible, because the standards for international students, on average, they will only let 3 to 7 international students into a class, because what's the point if they're not going to be able to get employed after? No one wants to employ them because no one wants to take on the sponsorship of them. So it makes it that much harder to even get into the schools. And for me to be able to get a job, for me to make myself competitive, the fact that I'm still in America, I worked 6 legal jobs in law school. When the average law student, you could only work 1. That's how stressful those are, but you'll make a lot of money. So I had to work a job. I worked 6 demanding law jobs that would pay you, but I can't accept the pay because it'll violate the terms of my visa. So I'm broke. I'm working to death just to make myself far more competitive than everybody else so that I could still be sitting here talking to you all today. It's insane what the immigration situation is in America. It's really wild. And I've never once in 15 years seen an honest conversation about it on the media or on the news anywhere. It's just the same old tired ass propaganda. It's not even misinformation because they literally don't tell Americans anything true and honest about how the immigration system works. So, monologue wrapped.
No, well, and the thing here is, why would they tell Americans the truth? Honestly, I mean, let's be real. If they told us the truth and actually gave you the information to a degree is power, and they don't want that because, like we talked earlier, there's corporations that are controlling the interests, and they don't want this.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's the same. It's capitalism all over again. Sorry, today's episode has been capitalism ruins everything.
It does. Yeah.
I heard a wild story recently about how like someone was working for one of the an immigrant who had a work sponsored visa. I believe that's what it is. Works for one of like the big tech companies and went to visit like family overseas and got laid off as part of those the big layoffs when they were overseas. And that was it. They no longer had a job. They couldn't come back in the country. It doesn't matter that they had all their stuff here. They were paying for their rent. They had an apartment. They had their whole life here. They were out of the country when they lost their job. So that company was no longer sponsoring their visa. They couldn't come back. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. That's
with all the
not even a
firings in the tech
chance.
sector, right? There was Twitter, Facebook, like how many tens of thousands of jobs for people from other countries.
Right, but this person, I'm sure there was others too, but this person whose story I heard online just happened to have been overseas when the layoffs happened and they lost their job, and that was it. They if they were in the country, I believe there would be an opportunity for them to find another job within a certain amount of time. It's still ridiculous. I think they give them like 60 days or something. Yeah, but this person, because they were overseas, that's it. No chance to find another job. They are out of here. They had to have a roommate sell off all their shit. That was it. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
I have a friend that just happened to literally over the Christmas. Literally just happened to them. It is far more common than you think, and it is miserable. And I also another underknown part of the process is, like, especially as an international student, when you go and you do these interviews at the embassy, you know what they do is they want you to demonstrate to them that you are not attached to America, right? Like you can't demonstrate any intent to remain. You know, they don't want you it to appear like you want to stay there, like you want to act like think about that. People think, oh, you know, apply for citizenship or these different things. You're not even allowed to say you want it down the line. Like if you're not only are you not eligible for it, but if you demonstrate that you want it, that you eventually want to remain in the country, they'll deny you for whatever it is visa that you are eligible. So imagine living in a country. I've lived in America now officially. I'll when I turn 30 in July, I'll have been in America longer than I've been in my own country, and I'm not allowed to talk about the place like it's my home, or like I live here, or like I want to stay here. Like I have to treat a place that I've been at for half my life like it's a vacation spot. Like, oh yeah, I just want to breeze by. Like I've been here. I have to, every time I apply for something or you do something, I have to literally go and show them every time, write out every time I've entered and left the country. So for like the last 10 years, as though like I live here. Like imagine trying to track your every move and give them your everything or whatever, because you know, child, you know, that's a U.S. immigration.
It's fucked beyond repair. It's wow.
Yeah, sorry to kill the vibe. I don't remember how we got here. Y'all said immigration, and my brain went off. I'm sorry. Like
it's so important though, because people don't know this shit.
Yeah,
like, it's so important.
Like it's very much so something. I am in the process of in a process now, and it's very daunting. Like, and you know, and listen, I'm blessed in comparison to both that you even have an option now. God, you know, whatever. But just to give you an example of how tedious it can be, like I just had to spend a weekend, or honestly a couple months, compiling every single time I've ever been referenced in the news, like in every media appearance or whatever it is. Yeah, in order to show them, to be able to prove, to demonstrate this, my every award, my every this. Do you know how it's like, oh, great, thank God you managed to develop a career enough that makes you, that you could even pursue this. But now do you hear what that task is? Because you have the career that you can pursue this. I'm sweating bullet like the level of work that is. Then you have to go beg people like, hey, you're an important person that knows me. Would you be willing to write a letter saying that I'm a good alien? Like, could you say I'm a good noodle? Like, please.
Are they going to be okay that you're on a show called The Leftist Mafia? Like, is that?
Yeah, are we risking stuff here?
Immigration attorneys better not say that.
We can change the name temporarily.
Yeah, call it
a
something
moniker.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
this
Love-
about your
love
client
freedom
joining
show.
some sort of international crime organization? What's going on here?
Listen, when they went under Trump's administration, I think they already changed it back, but Trump had enacted a policy that we had to give up our social media accounts. Like suddenly it was suddenly as a part of the application, we have to give up our social media accounts. I'm like, this motherfucker, like, yo, like that's something. Listen, people don't think about that. What it is, it's an undersold aspect of my experience. Like my being an immigrant is really at the forefront of my day-to-day. It really controls and dictates my life. But people don't, they just completely eliminate it. They just eliminate it. That's the cost of assimilating well, right? People you blend in, but it's really a real life stress. That's something people don't think into, even when they bother to think of the kind of work I do and the kind of job I do, and they do get to the point of thinking of like the danger of pissing off the police and the mayor as one Black woman, all these different things. I'm like, bro, I'm still not a citizen. Like, the stress that immigrant. My mommy calls me on a regular basis, like, could you please? Like, she's like, I mean, you are not straight. You are not straight in that country to be saying this about da 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 da. And this is the next thing. So there's an added level. Of something it adds to my life as an immigrant, as somebody that is still going through an immigration process and is still and will forever be at the mercy of the U.S. immigration country, the decision to do the kind of work that I do. And I was thinking about that even with this, because it's like, oh, great, you have all these important people that will, vouch for you as a national advocate against the criminal system and, and a proponent of abolition. Like, will they love that? not so sure, but integrity, right? So yeah, it really is hard. Trust me, my future children gonna hear it every day. Every day they're gonna hear about the U.S. citizenship I bless them with. Every day, my sacrifices. Look at you, an American. Don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. Because you all know my mother was actually in America at the time that she was pregnant with me.
No.
Oh wow,
That should count.
Yeah, that should count.
Oh, let me tell you what this woman did. Oh, this is the deep. This is the source of me and my mama's tension from in the womb. Oh, my mama. Listen, I call her up like every few months just to tell her she don't have no long-term vision. I'd be like, I don't even know what is wrong with you. Like, what is wrong with you? She was getting her master's in the U.S., which means she had enough to know the difficulty imposed on one in America, being in America as an immigrant, and enough to suggest that, hey, it's also kind of likely, it's possible that my daughter too might end up in the States for school as I am in the States for school. My mother got on a plane against medical advice. Like, it's not even like she went early in her pregnancy. No. When it was like too late, when she was like, it was dangerous, it was risky, she was not supposed to. She went out of her way to like hide her pregnant belly and like do all this shit or whatever, and went to the Bahamas just so she could fuck my immigration situation up. Every time I think about it, I want to square up. Every time I think about it, I want to square up. When she told me that, I was like, you are the gift that keeps on giving money. Like, ooh, my mommy don't even like the Bahamas.
Oh my. Why did she? Was something happening? Like, why'd she come back?
The faintest idea. And
was
like,
it insurance? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Was it love?
Left me with my Grammy and went back to the States. Listen.
Just so you could become a citizen.
I'd be pissed too.
My mom
I'd
is
be-
my daddy's second wife. I love my mother. And I love my mother dearly. But my mommy is my daddy's second wife. And I just want to say his first wife had my big sister in the States. She wasn't even going to school there. She went there, had her child there like a good, sensible woman, and then went back to the Bahamas. my mother, my daddy's second wife, different choices.
I'm guessing you bring that up to her occasionally.
All the time. Sometimes I just be on a walk and I just think about our choices and I call it. I'm like, I'd be like, you know, mommy, this shit that you did when I was a child that I thought was fucked up, and you were really stupid, and you would tell me, oh, when I'm an adult, and now as a grown woman, I can say it's really fucking stupider than I ever thought. Like now that I have all the information, what? And she's a revisionist. Listen, revisionist history. Revisionist history, because she'll perpetrate like she just somehow didn't know, like she didn't realize like all the constraints in America by being an immigrant or being Black. But I remember a little story. She used to run into the ground. This story about her going to go get an apartment, and the woman on the phone thought she was white. And was like, oh yes, absolutely available. And when she got there, she wouldn't give it to her. And I was like, that seems like evidence. Seems like evidence that you had enough information to make different choices, but you're a goofy lady. You're a goofy lady, and now I am paying the price. Okay, so yeah, my children, I'm gonna have them in America, and every day I'm gonna say, and now what do we say to mommy?
So you want children? So you want children?
Yeah. For the most part, I am open to changing my mind and saying no. But generally, my position is that yes, I want to have 2 children maximum.
Well, I know why David brought that up.
Do you want them just for that reason?
viral rant.
Over them?
No, I'm gonna be no. I'm gonna love them out. No, I'm gonna let them out. My childhood was not affectionate and great. So I will, when I have children, I will think it is the greatest thing ever, and that should be my main focus, because I think people, it's a big deal creating humans. Like, I don't think people put the right amount of reverence to that, but that's a big fucking deal. That person didn't exist. Okay, you did some shit. Now you made a whole motherfucker that didn't exist. Now they're here. That's some special shit. So when I make a child, you ain't not gonna be able to tell me that's the most special motherfucker to grace this earth. My job is to be on my baby's team. Okay, trust me. When I have a baby dog, I know that's my main focus. Okay, I can't wait to love up my babies. Yes, absolutely. When I, you know. But that being said, Raheem has a tendency sometimes. Raheem tripped me earlier because he was walking all up on my feet, and you know, like I said, I'm open to changing my mind on having children. Very, very open to it. But should I have them, I would love them deeply.
Speaking of cat children, and to circle it back to the earlier conversation about Legos, I have a Lego bouquet of flowers, and my cat knocked it off the window, and that shit shattered into a million pieces.
Oh no!
So, yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
At least you get to rebuild it.
Raheem is my cat. Raheem is my son. Cat feels.
I am a big fan of Raheem. Every time you post him on Twitter, I'm like,
yes, thank you. That's my baby. Y'all want to see a little sneak peek? Y'all know me and LOL Overruled. We're starting a show.
Yeah. I saw the little teaser.
Let me show you the artwork, because Alex has a cat named. Let me just say. So first, he has a cat that I really love. His cat don't fuck with him at all. The cat be screaming in the videos, and I love it. And so I was like, oh, I love this cat. I feel about this cat how people feel about Raheem. What is this cat's name? And he was like, Mookie. And I was like, that's the blackest shit I ever heard. Raheem and Mookie. I was like, your cat is black. That's why I don't fuck with you. So I had Raheem and Mookie incorporated into our artwork for the show.
Good idea.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's really good.
That's really
right.
cute.
Look at you see my little crown on my baby. Yes, so y'all see it.
Captures his essence well, I think.
Yes, my baby.
He's very regal.
Yeah, I love the video that you posted where he was meowing and he wouldn't stop, and you're like, "Don't call me a bitch." Like, like you could sense that he was calling you a bitch, and like you were able to grab that, and like it's so good.
He's calling me a bitch for him. He be telling me about my ass. We have full conversations in this house. That's my good baby. I love him. So my honey pie. Oh, so we gotta cancel and uncancel. Because we all know David has to sleep.
I actually have. So here's can I go first?
Yeah.
So
yes.
I am uncanceling David Dole and canceling myself. And I have to explain.
Wait, when
last
was David
week,
Dole
like a
canceled?
dumb motherfucker, instead of just leaving, I ended David's broadcast. So he was reading super chats for like how long was it,
read
David?
super chats it was like 5 minutes, but it was hilarious because I didn't realize. I'm like, I'm done reading, and then I realized, oh, the broadcast ended 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's so funny. That is actually hilarious.
I texted David. I'm like, David, did I shut down the whole fucking broadcast? Like, oh, I was like, oh god, please tell me.
I still don't know how you. I still don't know how you. Why that happened? Is it because you were the first one in the stream? I think that's likely the reason. Is because I guess you were the host.
Oh.
I think that's what happened. Yeah. So.
Oh,
it
maybe.
was
Okay.
It didn't. I mean, it didn't bother me. It was a complete accident, obviously.
I felt so bad. It's like, how do I end the entire broadcast?
Oh,
like what the fuck? I felt
That's
so
funny.
bad. So I'm canceled and David is uncanceled.
At the end of this, I'll go back and
I'll
finish
second.
those super chats I missed last week. So
Random thing that just crossed my mind because someone said in the chat, I think last week, but I'm gonna get me a hoodie, a Leftist Mafia hoodie with our animation on it.
Oh hell yeah!
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've decided I'm
We should
gonna do
have a
that.
store.
I'm gonna show it. Yeah, I'm getting me a hoodie. Deep in my soul, when I decided I wanted animations, that's what my heart truly wanted all along. Like, I'll make it easy for me to
It's
get
such
me
a good image. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's so great. I love it. I was like, oh my bad. I'm like, literally, y'all should see me in the house. Like every time one of my ideas for the show go well, I'm like, look, I have the best idea.
we can also still do that Discord, so we have that community going.
Yeah.
All right, so are we gonna uncancel George Santos?
No, we can't.
I mean,
I'm not
can.
willing to do that.
I'm not gonna sign my name to that.
No, I'm not signing on that.
If you wanna,
Bender. I know I felt like Bender would ride. Bender was quiet. Bender I feel like if Bender would uncancel George Santos.
Bender would smiling intently.
You'll be on the record. I don't know who to
you know?
cancel this year. I mean, this today. I'm tired. Let me say, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I think we should cancel. Who should we cancel? I don't know. I got no one right now.
Entire conversation, you were sleeping with your eyes open. That is the funniest shit ever.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I promise I was listening, but it's been a long day.
Yeah. Okay, let's let Bender go to sleep, and David's right behind him. Let's uncancel David, cancel Mike, and we'll see.
All right.
Oh, cancel.
There we go.
We
It's
can't
official.
cancel Marjorie Taylor Greene because we don't fuck with her.
Yeah,
She's
like,
already
people that
been
are already
canceled.
canceled, they're canceled already.
Yeah,
Let's cancel
society
Rihanna. Someone
canceled
said
her.
that in comments. Crazy.
no.
Why would cancel Rihanna?
Incorrect.
That's stupid.
We're not
All
canceling
these,
Rihanna.
all these white
Oh no,
people, y'all
Rihanna
telling
crushed
me-
shit.
I don't know who
Pete
they are.
Buttigieg is already canceled.
Right, he's
A lot
been
of
canceled
canceled.
since
Pete Buttigieg's already
2019.
Since he claimed victory.
Bill
in,
Maher,
in
Bill Maher's
Iowa,
kind of
he's
canceled.
Yes.
Well, hey, can we cancel the U.S. immigration system? How about that?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
That is canceled.
Yes. Okay. Great. All right. We're good,
Great.
y'all.
Oh,
Everyone have a great night.
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Logo.
Bye, everybody.
Again, folks.
I'll stay on for super chats.
Oh wait,
All right,